I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love, but I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I've been playing a shitload of eugenics. I looked at my hours this past weekend and I was at 125 and I was like, God damn. It's weird because the game is done so well. I hate, oh my God, I hate turn-based, first and foremost. I fucking despise turn-based games. I'm not gonna lie, the game pissed me off a few times. And I hate, what is that? It's like, Hades. Roguelikes. But the game just does it so well, I just can't put the game down. I hate both of those genres, but it's done so well that I just can't put the game down. So we got some new stuff. I got part of some program, I don't know. I'm going to be honest, I'm doing this to play ball. I want to stay in their program. YouTube's program, it's some kind of program where you can put down. So like, I can't do it for the actual stream, unfortunately. But whenever I make the videos later, I'm going to have the products down in the description. If you click on the products, you will get you will help me get a little bit of money, and I think depending, you might even get a discount. So, what other things would I get other than games? I'm not sure if you will get a discount. Don't take that with a grain of salt, but if you get it through the link that'll be down to the description of the video, then you will be sending me a percentage, kind of like it's like, it's not even all that much. It's like 2 or 3% of like a $60 game. It's like nothing, but still. Hold on. You know we got to have that Death Stranding 2 in there. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the game. I did play it to completion, and I'm still to this day getting copyright on the music that's in it, even though I go back through and remove it all. There always seems to be 4 more. But if you use the link that'll be down in the description of the video, you can send me a little revenue if you decide to get it. They did just add picture mode, and I think they added some new missions with the recent update as well, and I'm sure there's going to be some actual DLC that's going to come out with it soon. That was the picture mode. There's another thing here. Oh yeah, they added more wildlife too, if I'm not mistaken. You just pick up the whole damn bird, huh? I would play the actual audio, but the issue is that all of the audio that I've gotten from Death Stranding 2 has been copyright, so. I love that Kojima somehow managed to put Gotta Catch 'Em All in Death Stranding 2. Okay. The next 2 I'm not too worried about. That's right. Resident Evil. In the description, there will be a link to go to Resident Evil. Well, it's not the game that's copyrighted, it's the music. That's the only thing that's copyright about it. It's the stupid music.
He is a man of many talents. He can kick zombies into oblivion.
So if you go to the link in the description, I'll have a link there for you to click on. If you buy the game through the link, you will be sending me a little kickback from that, just a little tiny bit.
Devilish of men, and most importantly, say some of the most iconic one-liners.
For Resident Evil Requiem.
Here's some of the best one-liners in Resident Evil Requiem. Just a fair warning: we're going through the entire game, so spoilers ahead.
The answers to your disease here.
My favorite line that I've heard so far from Leon has to be the I've killed every plant I've ever owned. That was the best one I've heard so far.
Yeah. You know, I do have a question. When's the last time you brushed your teeth? Hey, can you hear me?
I'm so happy he said it, because I was wondering it. I was wondering if his breath smelled like shit.
Dr. Gideon has been expecting you.
Funny. I don't remember getting an invitation. I think I want a second opinion.
I remember that.
Excuse me. All right. Should make it there in no time. Just a few potholes.
Yo, I love what they did with Leon's character in this one. Everything that I've seen so far, it's very impressive.
Should have worn a helmet.
Yeah, see that Razor Sharp Supreme Lion. Thanks for the The Prime sub, man. You're the first sub person I've gotten on Twitch. W. Razor Sharp. It's Razor Sharp. Razor Sharpreme Lion, right? It's an interesting name.
Well, that's my cardio for the week.
Yep.
Wake up, wake up.
Hey, you. I was just resting my eyes.
That's not a one-liner. You can't use that as a one-liner, man. That doesn't count.
This time, you ain't getting back up. Let me guess. You must be the town lumberjack.
That's a good one. Is this the plant one? Where's the plant one?
Oh, I miss our Raccoon City hospitality.
What? They didn't use the plant
And
one.
that does it for some of Leon's snappiest lines.
Yo, WIGN. Like I said before, check the link down in the description. This will be the last one right here. Pragmata. W Pragmata. Same thing applies here. Check the link in the description. I will have a link for you to give me some of that kickback money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You click on the link and you can pre-order the game. I do think this game is really pretty. The graphics in this game look amazing.
You just gonna stay here when this is all done? What do you want?
I want to go to Earth.
What the hell is going on here? And why are these things trying to kill us?
While I was preparing to depart for Earth, the moon...
You know what's crazy? Is that the way this game is played, you're supposed to hack the machines while you're moving around, right? I already know there are going to be people trying to do like challenge runs where they don't hack to make the game 100 times harder. You know that's already going to be happening.
Struck, damaging Edis.
Enacting attack protocol. Permission to commit.
Oh, how's it going, Alex? Morning.
You gotta be kidding me. I'm calling it.
Actually, no, we didn't. We had a fucking pretty shit weekend. We had a ferret that, well, let's just say it didn't pass away the best. So, yeah. No, it was pretty bad. Pretty shite. That happened on Friday night.
We'll shut Edis down, and then we'll...
But we made the weekend work.
Let's do our best. I decide my own way. And I'm going to...
Well, it's not... I'll save it for after this.
We're a team, right?
I love the amount of detail they put on the game. The suits in this game. I do.
We're a team.
Like, look at the detail here. Compared to old PlayStation 3 and 2 era, and 4 for that matter, the amount of detail and the amount of the quality of games that we should be having should look like this every time now. Look at the detail. Like, the ridges have ridges. It's insane.
Right? A whole new life. If you're ready.
I wonder if there will be different cosmetics for the suit.
Okay, then let's go. Together.
Oh, look out, it's a Walmart machine.
I'm gonna get a better look.
Hello, we are Cabin, your one-stop companion for all things shelter.
Huh. Oh, damn, we got a release date. Look at that. That's next month. So we have Crimson Desert coming out this month, and we have Pragmata coming out next month. Oh? Oh! What a bait and switch! Oh! Wait a minute! Yo, I ain't never seen a game get pushed forward before. That's impressive. Yo, W developers. Let's go. Ha 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 ha. Oh, you can. Oh, that's cool. Bro looks like a damn transformer. Why did they make him look so fat? Oh my God, you can be a cat dad. Oh God. Oh fuck. Oh. She kind of looks like Tifa a little bit, or not Tifa, but the mechanic in Final Fantasy 15 or 16, the one with Noctis. Kind of looks like Cid's daughter. Whoa, wait a minute. Yo, check that out. Y'all can't see it. Look at that. That looks sick. Neo Bashido and Neo. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try.
PlayStation.
All right, so that's it for those. We're gonna watch some other games now, and then we'll move on from that. But yeah, check the link out in the description. Not in the description of the stream. I can't put it in the description of the stream. It'll be in the videos that I post later on throughout the week. Okay. Whoa, what's this? Fortnite's gonna be bringing Captain America? What? Oh, is that already happened? Maybe that just already happened. I don't know who this is. I don't know what that means, but okay. All right. Yeah, no, it was just... Maybe it's like an older game. Oh my God, older mechanic they're bringing back, kind of like the Thanos thing. I heard a lot of people like playing as Thanos and Godzilla. A lot of people like Thanos and Godzilla. Damn, they really didn't upload anything. This Soul Mask game looks interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be good. Looks kind of like a rip on. Actually, you know what? I have seen this. It's multiplayer. I don't care about this. This is garbage. This is more multiplayer slop. I don't care about this. I don't care. I don't like multiplayer slop. I'm done with multiplayer slop, man. There's so many developers just trying to make a quick check. It's disgusting. I'm sick of seeing it. PlayStation looked like it had more stuff. Let's try PlayStation. All the good games are coming out. So there's not really anything in development anymore. Maybe if they could release all the good games while Trump is in office, then if they elect another Democrat, then you know, the production for the games that are already being made will extend past the administration. So that way, whenever another Republican gets into office, it'll make them look good again.
Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Capcom proudly...
I don't trust Capcom. Am I the only person that anytime I see a Capcom game, it looks to an extent cartoony, and here's the weird thing about Capcom games. They look realistic. They look realistic, but at the same time, they look cartoony or like Play-Doh or clay. It's the only one that I've seen, and it's always Capcom. Never fails, it's always Capcom.
Onimusha, Way of the Sword is set in 17th century Edo period Kyoto. You'll fight your way through iconic locales, such as Kiyomizu-dera Temple. The protagonist, a lone samurai, Miyamoto Musashi.
You know what's crazy is I used to have the Game Informer for Onimusha 1 and 2. Old Game Informers. Probably be worth money now if I hadn't gotten rid of them. I had the original BioShock ones as well. Now that that company's out of business, I had the God of War ones. I still think that animation is so sick. I would buy this game and play it specifically for that animation, and then I would stop playing it. If I didn't like it.
With many strange tales and unsettling mysteries. And you can experience strands of these hidden legends woven throughout the story. Feel the ring of...
Man, that music is banger, though. That's good stuff. It resembles the beauty of the backdrop. It really ties the theme together. I love it. So it's not just the swords. You get a variety of weapons? I didn't know that. I thought it was just the sword. He had daggers in that one scene. Yeah, look, he's got daggers. I didn't know that. That's cool. That's sick. I'm sorry. That is sick.
End of his blade.
He just lights the whole room on fire. That's so cool.
Miyamoto Musashi.
We need more games like this that have grapple systems on mobs. I love grapple. Like, if you do perform a perfect parry, it should do like a counter assault where you can grab them and then start, like, messing their shit up. That's what I want to see. I want more games like that. Like, we need to move past this, like, perfect parry system. Is like, oh, well, it's dazes the enemy. No, dude, I want a retaliation. I want to be able to put skill points that makes me crawl up that fucker's ass and put a blade in his butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want. I want an animation, bruh. Even if it has to be, like, time sensitive, I'll take it. I think we're done with this. We could probably move on from this. Oh man, here we go. We got the Imru and Mizkif lawsuit. Apparently, Mizkif is also trying to sue Asmon now. Check out Legal Mindset, Legal Mindset. Hell yeah, Legal Mindset.
Mizkif, which also involves Asmongold. We're gonna get into all the parties today, particularly Emiru's defense and the little chink in her armor, which might mess up her motion to dismiss. Of course, this is the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. This is a Fast Facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So in case you've been hiding under a rock, we've got the plaintiff here, Mizkif, who filed a defamation lawsuit against Asmongold, Emiru, OTK, and Mythic. And lately there's been a clip trending around of him in a bit of an emotional state.
And she waits 4.5 months to stall this out so no one cares anymore. And her response is that. Like, are you kidding me? And no one cares. No one cares. Like, no one wants to listen. It's so unfair. They go up my throat for cheese clips and say I'm an abuser. And that's her response. Her response is literally that it's her emotional version of it. Are you kidding me?
So we're going to get into that today and what he's talking about and the little issues we have with Emiru's defense. Then we, of course, have Emiru over here, who's the defendant. And she's
I remember watching this shit live. I thought that shit was crazy, bro. I was like, holy crap.
Pretty prepared for litigation.
Yeah, she did this during a live stream.
And knowing that litigation was going to come.
I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about.
So it seems like from the beginning, Emiru was prepared for a lawsuit, and part of a lawsuit is going through the steps, is going through the motions. So this is yet another part of the lawsuit that we have to get through. And of course, let's not forget Asmongold, who's part of this, and I'm going to reflect upon his defense in light of Emiru as we get into the facts here. So let's go with our opening statements. So Mizkif filed this defamation claim and other claims against OTK, Asmongold, Mythic, and Emiru. All evidence involves statements on Mizkif and Emiru's relationship. So it's all stuff that involves their relationship and how their relationship went down. Many comments and admissions were made by Mizkif himself, although some of the stuff and evidence has been submitted are Emiru's comments, and obviously her initial statement is part of the evidence.
The only thing that can make this fall through is if Emiru has proof for everything, and I'm sure she does.
Now, procedurally, Asmongold and Emiru have filed.
What the fuck is going on? As long as she has proof for everything, this is all going to fall through.
Motions to dismiss. And it's very important to get into what that exactly means. So a motion to dismiss, and you can see right here the filing that was just filed by Emiru. That is under the federal rules because Mizkif perhaps wisely got this in a federal court to avoid some procedural Texas law, which would make his claim even more difficult, almost impossible. You've got the federal rule 12b6 for failure to state a claim. This is a pre-trial motion, so it's before you get all witnesses called, it's before depositions, it's before a lot of the discovery of the actual case itself, and it only examines the legal sufficiency of the plaintiff Mizkif's claims. The one thing is, when you're looking at this,
I don't know how you could possibly try to sue, like, if you trying to sue her for defamation, you do realize that Mizkif does realize that if he tries to sue them, her and Asmon, and it's not true, more of the story is going to have to be told to more people, which means that it's like Emiru said, is that she wants more of it to come out. And he literally, she even said that, and he still played into her hand. Like, why would you do that? Why would you continue? Why wouldn't you just, no one's even talking about it anymore. Why wouldn't you just try to move on from it? It's so stupid.
Looking at a motion to dismiss, you do have to interpret all facts in favor of Mizkif. Now, of course, he has to specifically state those facts. Those have to be things that are backed up by...
And Asmon's not going to talk about this because he's involved with the lawsuit. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but a lot of people that are involved with lawsuits typically don't talk about it. So
evidence by certain amount of evidence, and you also have to ignore legal conclusions or just statements of the elements. So if he's just going through there saying, well, these are the elements of the crime and I think she did the elements of the crime, that's not enough. You've got to back that up by saying, okay, here are facts that support
proof.
That.
He has to have proof. He has to have proof. And no lawyer would have taken this without proof, but unless it's a slap lawsuit, and then that's different. But if it's not, then I really hope that he's ready to unveil, wouldn't it be crazy if, come to find out, Emeru lied about everything and Mizkif has proof to back everything up that is like a lie? Wouldn't that be insane? Emeru would completely destroy her career if that were the case.
Then those facts can be interpreted in favor of Mizkif. And an important note here is Mizkif is trying to amend his complaint to add facts that the first version of his complaint didn't have. And both of them, Asmongold and Emeru, are trying to prevent that. Emeru goes into a little bit more detail with her comments on why.
No, I think he's just really emotionally driven. I think that's what it is. Bro's gonna make stupid mistakes because he's wrapped up in it all.
That should be prevented. But Mizkif did not do a good job of including a lot of facts in his initial complaint, which is why it was absolutely so laugh-worthy. But there may be an issue here, a very, very specific issue here with Emeru's motion to dismiss. So the issue...
I'm not going to be very, in my opinion, I think he did it. I do. But that's my opinion. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm saying, in my opinion, I think he did it.
Is in Texas, it's defamation per se to accuse someone of a crime or imputations of serious sexual misconduct. And SA, right, you see it right there, is a felony which falls under both categories. So it's both a crime and an imputation of serious sexual misconduct. So both of those things are defamation per se. So if you have that information out there, you would interpret that, okay, that's defamatory. And of course, just for those that don't know, the crime of SA generally requires some sort of physical contact, right? So that's something that's going to be required. And as of yet, we do not have any injunction or criminal complaint against Mizkif that's been filed for SA. But which...
Oh, you know what? There's that chink in the armor he was talking about. Because she never filed a police report and she went out and said it. Oh, honestly, I can get behind that. If you felt as strongly as you did about it to mention it on stream, why wouldn't you file a police report? If you really felt that strongly about it, why the hell wouldn't you file a police report? It feels kind of like it's just drama for the sake of drama and defamation. By not reporting SA, you risk the future of somebody else. This man, if you get SA'd, man or woman, and you don't file a police report, you will inadvertently get somebody else hurt. If you are ever SA'd, you need to file a police report. You need to report it to the goddamn police. Stop running around on your exes saying, well, he SA'd me. Why didn't you file a fucking police report? File a police report. Well, no one would believe me. That's not how it works. If you go into a police station and you want to file a police report and they don't want you, they don't allow you, or they don't take you seriously, sue the fuck out of them and go to a different police department. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse. Call first responders. Call fire department whenever the person who did it leaves. Call first responders.
The problem is
you will not find people that will take it more seriously than the fire department or an ambulance team, EMTs. You won't. They're required by law to get the police involved and make sure that it goes well.
Emeru's statements in the transcript, she used the language of SA at least 3 times.
Well, not that it goes well, but that they take all the information that's needed for it.
her main speech, which you can go through, and these are timestamps from the transcript, which was submitted to the court.
That would be crazy. They managed to dig up some kind of proof that links, or not proof, but like some kind of message that links the guy that essayed her on stage at the TwitchCon to Mizkif. That would be insane. That would be crazy.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me and some of these issues which are ongoing. That's number one. Number two, she opens up by saying, but because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just generally not being a very nice person. And then last but not least, I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now.
I mean, you can file a police report anytime within the 10 years of the incident. There's no reason, like, even if she's looking back on it now, she could still file a police report. So, like, whenever I hear that, I always hear the same BS that it's like, well, why don't you file a police report? And you still have the chance to file a police report, and it's like, exactly. Why don't you file a police report? You could still do that. No one is stopping you from filing a police report. I kind of got to give that one to Mizkif, unfortunately. Like, and I don't have any, I don't like it whenever people claim that they've been SA'd and then like they don't report it, even though you inform them that they can report it and they should report it. If anything, they should be required to report it by law, so that way this guy doesn't go out and do it to somebody else. I don't understand how, because like at that point, how are you not what's it called? There's a name for it. Like enabling them. You're enabling them, but if you report it, then you know, like somebody else who gets involved with that person, they'll be like, oh, well, you have a history of X, Y, and Z. Fuck no. So like,
yeah,
but not reporting it should never be an option.
My
I'm
story
sorry.
of
There's no reason.
With, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, stalking, and being threatened on if you know I ever talked about it. So there
Like,
you
if
go.
you're gonna make an allegation like that, you better have the damn paperwork to back it. You
the
should.
instance of her bringing that up. And this was definitely something that Emaru's lawyers knew that Mizkif was going to bring up because of that law, because of the defamation per se. And you do have this statement here. So this statement here seems to be the thing we have in the record that would go towards that, or towards her interpretation of that, which is the statement, we cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did something or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I had said sorry back then. So that was the incident which perhaps she was interpreting that. It's the one we have from the record. Of course, this is Mizkif's own statement. Now, Emaru's defense here, and this is the position she filed in this recent filing, is that under Texas law...
Whatever happened to counter lawsuits? Like, if I'm ever getting sued, why the hell wouldn't you countersuit so that way if you win, you get all your court costs and shit paid for, and like you can get a little bit of money from them? Hell, I mean, why not? You spent the time and effort trying to fight it. You might as well try to countersue.
Even a verifiably false statement is not defamation if the context reveals the statement was a reflection of an opinion, not a statement of fact. So they're trying to lean on the fact that saying, hey, this was more of an opinion than a statement of fact.
If I ever get to be big enough to where I'm getting slapped into lawsuits like this, I would go out of my way to make sure these motherfuckers never thought they were going to do it again. Like, I would go out of my way and I would find a few lawyers and I would walk into there and I'd be like, I'm getting sued. I want to countersue. I want to sue so that way if I win, I want to make sure that these motherfuckers never get the instance or the hint of trying to do it again. And I'm not like in this instance of, you know, Mizkif and Imuru, but like in general, like if it's like a copyright strike or something like that, I would want to send the message of don't sue this person. If you lose, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt bad. And if a lawyer looked at me and said, well, I don't know what to countersue them for, I would be like, well, I don't know why the fuck I'm paying you. Why am I paying you? You don't know what to find.
Here within the context of the
That's your job, man.
Live stream,
find something.
That Emiru was telling her own emotional truth, explaining how their relationship came to an end and the struggles Emiru endured during their relationship. The live stream was spontaneous, unedited, unscripted, and underscoring that Emiru was not delivering a rehearsed narrative.
I kind of agree with that. I feel like if you're going to do this kind of stuff, it needs to go through court first. But just for the sake of getting on and trying to... Like, the guy had already been kicked from Mythic Talent. He was already out of Mythic Talent. He had already been alienated from most of the groups that were around him because of her. Why did she feel the need... Like, I get it. If you're going to get online and you're going to make a public statement, I understand that. But you should have filed a police report if you were going to make a statement that big. Because if you didn't, and you don't have the law enforcement to back it, you're gonna look like an ass in front of a lot of people. You are. Like, it just doesn't look good for her defense at all. It doesn't. If you're not gonna, and furthermore, if it hasn't been through court, it shouldn't be online, period. And even if it had been through court, and like, do we have no modesty anymore? Like, come on.
Instead, was speaking openly and vulnerably in the moment. Her truth as she experienced it. Like the daughter in Benson, a Texas case that they cite, Emiru's allegedly defamatory statements were either non-actionable elements of opinion or mere opinions masquerading.
She did have the messages, she did.
And then they go on to point out, because they know this is coming, that Mizkif will focus on Emiru's use of the term SA, which I'm going to stop there and just say very clearly, if she had not used that term, we wouldn't even be here today. This wouldn't be an argument. There would be a full, strong case for that motion to dismiss. But using that terminology is really what got her in that position. So without a doubt, without use of those words, there would be no position for Mizkif to hang his hat on here based on his own statements of his behavior. Let's continue. And argue that Emiru's statements are necessarily defamatory because they include the same term. However,
it's the language that she used that escalated it to a defamation lawsuit. If she hadn't have said SA and she said, I just didn't consent to it, or she didn't specifically use SA, then we wouldn't be here. She could have reworded it, but I'd imagine that she told her lawyers that she wants to say that. And I kind of wonder if she's not doing this to stir up even more media around Mizkif, so that way she can get more stuff to come forward about him. And if that's the case, W. Emiru. But if that's not the case, then what are you doing? What are you doing?
Once again, a Texas case they're relying on. Emiru described in detail the exact nature of his assault against her. Bizarrely, this one sentence that Mizkif actually quotes in the first amended complaint he started kissing me in my face and I let him do it. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants and I screamed. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat. Taking the whole context of the statement into account, as the court is required to do, it's very different than the stepfather and Benson. Emiru describes exactly what happened to her, and although she defines it as SA, a reasonable viewer would unquestionably understand that that term is her own description of what happened to her. The viewer is not left to guess as to the nature of the assault based solely on the term SA, which focused on the fact that daughter did not actually.
Well, like if you're gonna make a statement like this, you need to make sure that you have paperwork to back it up. That's the issue that Emiru's going to run into with this, is that if I was a lawyer and I looked at this and she didn't file a police report, that's immediate. Like, even in a court, if I see that somebody got online and said something like this, and you spun up this shit show around this person, but you never filed a police report, I would immediately call this defamation. I would. Because in the court of law, if I take my biased side out, because I would want to rule against Mizkif, but if I'm going to stay unbiased, I would probably rule in favor of Mizkif. That doesn't make it right, but if somebody's outwards looking in and they don't know the backstory of all of this and they're completely unbiased, this looks bad. It looks bad.
Assault. Just like in
that's
Benson,
why it's so damn important to do your paperwork.
Emeru's statements are not actionable as defamation because they show her personal viewpoint, i.e. her own emotional truth, and not purported fact. So that's their position as to that specific thing. And that is a very, very precarious position at the point of a motion to dismiss, where you're getting into, hey, does this meet the legal standard? And when you're taking those presumptions, once again, the presumptions in favor of Mizkif in terms of the factual allegations. Understanding, though, that Mizkif did a poor job in his complaint of including details and spotting out things, and that's what he's probably trying to clean up, him and his lawyer trying to clean up and add to make sure that they perhaps survive a motion to dismiss. But this is their defense. So what do we look at? Well, in defamation,
she must have.
We're going to look at this.
I guarantee she probably has stuff that we haven't seen yet. I just hope that whatever she has is enough to put Mizkif back in his place, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm rooting for Emeru, but if there is even a slight chance that this man could mow her over in the court, why would you ever take that chance?
How a reasonable person would look at this. So overall in the context, right, the fact finder, right, the jury at a certain point, right, earlier on, we can look for summary judgment and motion to dismiss. These are going to be the judge is going to be making the decisions, but you're going to be looking from a reasonable person's standard. And Emeru's problem, or fundamental problem, is that she repeated those words and also used them in the context of other crimes. And that would leave an implication that it was the criminal definition, right? And even if it wasn't, once again, we go back to Texas law, there's the imputation of serious sexual misconduct, which can also be defamation per se. However, here's the problem for Mizkif, and this is not just a clear thing where Mizkif is at the complete advantage. They're public figures, and the burden is on Mizkif to prove that Emeru did this with malice. So that is a higher standard. So essentially, Mizkif needs to prove that Emeru knew that this didn't fit the definition of SA and said it anyway. Said, I know he didn't do this. I knew what that was. I said it maliciously. And he's got to prove that by clear and convincing evidence, which is a higher bar at the civil level. Usually it's preponderance of the evidence, which is a lower standard. It's got to meet a clear and convincing standard. That's very difficult for anybody to hit as a public figure and going up to hit that clear and convincing standard. So Mizkif doesn't have an easy ride here. Now, Asmongold. Let's talk about Asmongold real quick. Does any of this change what Asmongold has, or his motion to dismiss? No, it does not alter that at all, because Asmongold never used that term in any of his statements. So he doesn't have that same risk of defamation per se. Unlike Emeru, most of his content was a reaction, and mostly he was just going straight up on what Mizkif was saying. Now, Emeru was telling her original story. That was kind of the original telling of the story. So there's nothing to react to.
I think this is like what Asmon's like third or fourth lawsuit
at the beginning of the story, obviously. So Asmon was in a different position and could be more careful.
Bro can't keep his mouth shut. Yo, low key, this is gonna be me in like 3 years if I keep going away. I'm not even kidding. 100%. W legal mindset. But that's why you got to countersue. So apparently Israel bombed an oil facility in Iran, and it pissed Trump off. Trump was mad. And it rightfully so, because now the price on gas is expected to surge past $4 a gallon. So let's get into it. We got a lot. Not a whole lot. Not like last weekend, but we got a lot. So
Israel's attack on Iran's oil depots, and Trump is getting mad?
Trump is pissed.
What? Breaking, the U.S. is dismayed by Israel's attacks on 30 oil depots on Saturday, sparking the first significant disagreement between the allies since the war began, per Axios. Strikes details include, the strikes reportedly went far beyond what the U.S. expected when Israel notified it in advance. We don't think it was a good idea. An Israeli official said the U.S. message to Israel was WTF. The president doesn't like the attack. He wants to save the oil. He doesn't want to burn it. U.S. gas prices are now expected to surge well above $4 a gallon this month. Insane video appears to show the last moment the storm drains across the Iranian capital of Tehran exploded and burst into flames as a result of runoff from the Sharon oil depot.
Damn!
Oh my god. Wait, is this a real video?
That looks fake. That looks fake.
Holy shit. This is an oil refinery in Tehran province has been targeted in an airstrike causing a massive fire. And again, some of these might be misattributed. You know, all this is breaking news. It's coming out as we're looking at it. Footage shows massive flames in Tehran, reportedly from oil tanks hit by Israeli strikes. Jesus Christ. Well, I guess Trump wasn't lying. These are, I mean, I feel like these are probably the biggest attacks that I've seen. Crude oil futures just opened up 20%. Trump's these are, I mean, I feel like these are probably the biggest attacks that I've seen. Crude oil futures just opened up 20%. Trump's going to crash out. It's $108. I'm not sure how to read this.
Damn.
Ooh.
Damn.
Shit. So the last time it was this high was in 2022. This shit went up real quick. 73%. I feel like we're going to get another one of these if Netanyahu doesn't comply with Trump's strategy. Yeah.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand
that? Damn, he just says it. Yo, W president.
There was a guy in New York that threw a bomb at
Oh yeah, there's new people coming now. We're gonna watch something here on Fox. They just stopped another terrorist attack. They found a bunch of IEDs.
What do you call it? They threw a bomb.
And there was another one over the weekend.
Was doing, you know, some protest or some event. And so the people that did it threw a nail bomb at a person demonstrating, and they were yelling Allahu Akbar, right? And so these very clearly are like, you know, Muslim terrorists, right? That's what they are. It's pretty obvious. That's why people yell Allahu Akbar and they throw a bomb. I mean, that makes you pretty much a Muslim terrorist, I would assume. Like,
I wonder how many terrorist attacks Israel's had since the Iran war has started. Or if they just naturally have them like all the time. You know, it makes you wonder how many of these terrorist attacks happen all over the world. Especially like maybe even in France, if they have a bunch of like immigrants that went there from Iran that were like part of the terrorist regimes and they just didn't realize it or know it. How many of them are being attacked right now? Because we'll never see that information unless you do some heavy digging with like a VPN. But like, you know, just like
89% chance. So Zoran Amnadami just made a statement about this. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Yesterday, white supremacist Jake Lang organized a protest outside Gracie Morrison rooted in bigotry and racism. Such hate has no place in New York City. It is an affront of our city's values and the unity that defines who we are. What followed was even more disturbing. Violence at a protest.
Another attack, man. We got another attack on American soil. They threw some dude threw a nail bomb at some New York protesters.
Never acceptable. The attempt to use an explosive device to hurt others is not only criminal, it is reprehensible.
You know what's crazy? I heard over the weekend that people were bitching and complaining. This really set me off. People were bitching and complaining that we're bombing the medics in Iran. Motherfucker, have you ever seen Hacksaw Ridge? It's a great movie. It's a beautiful movie. Amazing movie. It absolutely is like the heart and soul of American patriotism. And apparently it was I think Mel Gibson had something to do with the writing of it. Who wrote / directed Hacksaw Ridge? It is. It was directed by Mel Gibson. There is a scene in Hacksaw Ridge where he gets to his, the front line, and the guys that are already at the front line, they tell him, get rid of the fucking crosses. Get rid of the white patch with the medic cross on it. Get rid of it. He grabs some other soldier's helmet and gives it to him and says, don't ever walk out of this building wearing that. You're a target. To hear people bitch and moan and maul and complain that a bunch of medics that are soldiers are getting blown the fuck up in a foreign country, acting like this is some new form of warfare, blows my fucking mind. Blows my mind. This mentality, these people have lived in privilege for so fucking long, they have no idea what a war is. And it blows my fucking mind. You realize that in the war with Afghanistan, they would strap bombs to these fucking kids and ask them to shine like Rambo. One of the most iconic scenes in movie history is about his friend and that goddamn Corvette. That car and his friend getting his legs blown off by a child that asks him if he wants to get his shoe shined. Yeah. You are acting like bombing a few medics is bad? Well, what about the fact that they used to strap bombs to kids in Afghanistan and send it to the soldiers? What about that? Or dogs? They used to do the same thing to dogs, too. Don't sit here and talk to me about no motherfucking medics, dude. Like, what?
Antithesis of what we are. I want to thank the brave men and women of the New York PD who acted to quickly keep New Yorkers safe. Our officers ran towards danger without hesitation, demonstrating once again the courage and dedication it takes to protect the city. So this is the problem with what he's saying here, right?
And they complaining about medics and they literally throwing nail bombs in the middle of protests here in New York City.
You had no
get the fuck out of here with this sympathy shit. You come here, you get sympathless.
Supremacist, but you do have a problem calling the people who yelled Allahu Akbar at him throwing a bomb Muslim terrorists, which is what they are, right? And I think that's the main issue. Top reply. Oh, I can't show that. Sorry, for obvious reasons. But anyway, my point is that top reply. I didn't see that. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that
they have done another investigation. They have found another place where they have found more bombs and more people. So there is a good chance that if you are out there protesting, make sure you're able to get away if you need to. Make sure that you're spaced out in case you need to get away. There is a good chance there will be hundreds more of these. Stay safe, even if you're fucking stupid and you want to protest this. For the love of fuck, stay safe.
Able to appropriately categorize this person as a bad actor and give them a identity as a bad actor.
Most people would call it natural selection. I wouldn't. I'd call it a terrorist attack on our own U.S. citizens. Look, just because they're stupid doesn't mean they deserve to die for their opinion, okay?
But then not talk about the identity of the people that threw a bomb. Like, do you see kind of how there's an asymmetry here where you have no problem at all talking about somebody who is, obviously, and Jake Lang is an agitator. He is. And you could say maybe he's a white supremacist. Maybe he's a racist or anything else. And I have no problem with you calling him that. That's not an issue. But the issue is that if you want to do that and then you don't want to call out the obvious ideological decision that somebody made to throw a fucking nail bomb, then I think that we have a major fucking problem here.
You know what the problem is? Is these people don't care about Americans. That's the problem. That's the real problem. I wonder how many of these content creators are being paid to push that narrative too. You would be surprised how many of these people are getting paid by foreign countries to push a narrative. And what's sad is that they do it. There's just no principle to stand with an average American. And you know why that is? It's because they became rich. That's why. They don't care. Because they think that if this happens and this follows through, that they won't be lumped in with them. What do you think happened? What do you think happens in Iran if you're a content creator and they find out you have a lot of money? Well, they kill you and take all your shit. That's what they do. Or you have to send them a lot more money than everyone else. Like,
and demonizing peaceful protesters and not calling
these
out
people
literal
don't think about that. They think that they're going to be raised to a higher standard than everybody else. But you have to keep in mind that in Iran, a lot of these people, if you're lucky enough to be able to afford these things, their privilege is only met with higher rates of pay for everything else. So they're still in the same position they were as if they were like poor. The only difference is they don't have to walk or drive to work. And you know what's funny is that they're so privileged that they developed this opinion simply by being privileged, that they think that they're going to be treated differently because they're Americans. It's just, it's so brain dead.
Jake Lang, and this is the truth. Jake Lang is a peaceful protester. He did nothing wrong. Nobody was hurt. He didn't try to hit anyone. He didn't set anything.
Well, you have to keep in mind, like, how many of the people that are out there protesting the Ayatollah or for the Ayatollah, how many of them will probably learned what they know from Reddit or an online social media, right? So you have to realize that some of these people are just so, like, these people reproduce by getting stuck in like, the washing machine, okay? That's the only way, that, like, a public, like, washing machine, like, okay? Like, we're talking about laundromat babies, all right? That's how these people usually reproduce. So, like, you have to keep in mind that natural selection didn't take these people simply because of technology. There's a good chance that they're watching a lot of AI-made propaganda that is coming from foreign countries, that it's all botted, and they think that what they're seeing is real. They genuinely think that. They think that America's losing the war because they got on Twitter this morning and saw a bunch of AI propaganda that Iran posted. Now that the account's suspended, it probably less, but that they posted that showed them blowing up aircraft carriers, and they had like a fucking B-2 bomber that looked like a damn alien spacecraft, and it's like, come on, guys. But you have to realize, laundromat babies, okay?
Fire. He didn't destroy property. He didn't do anything wrong. He was acting completely within his First Amendment right, and there's nothing wrong with that. Same with the people that were, like, crying about Khomeini dying, right? But at the same time, whenever you have somebody throwing a bomb, right, throwing a fucking bomb, then that is these people should be hanging right now in the middle of New York City.
I agree with that. No, I absolutely agree with that. Like, just because they're cattle doesn't give you the right to kill them like that, period. Unless you're like like hurting somebody or trying to kill somebody, there's no reason to try and sit there and bomb a group of people. It's disgusting. It is. It's gross. It is. It's awful. And this person that did it should absolutely be like executed in some way, shape, or form.
That's what should have happened. Like, the moment that you throw a nail bomb is the moment that you get strung up near the nearest tree. That's what my opinion is, right?
I agree.
And these people are insane. They are. Zoran is scum. Well, here's really the truth, is that I think Zoran is another identity politics candidate. I think that what percentage of the Muslim vote do you think that Zoran got in New York?
No, it should be a public execution, absolutely. It should absolutely be a public
execution. Let's ask the honest question here.
100%.
Probably 99%. So you have a person who is basically using their position as a mayor to advocate for their ideology. And I think he's doing that here by refusing to state that the people that were doing this attack were terrorists, and they did yell out Allahu Akbar, which I think probably they're Muslims, right? Like 99% chance that's the case. So you have the same problem the UK now has. Enjoy. Yes, I know that. I'm fully aware. And so anyway, this is what's been going on for a while. Why the New York PD we're doing that. How long has Zoran been in New York City, like, as a resident? I remember he remembers no place in New York City. That makes it okay to throw a bomb? Yeah, of course, right? And so it was weird he commented on the protest when anyone should be able to protest without being terrorized. Yeah, it's just exactly. And I'm glad to see people pushing back on this. And I think that, you know, again, as we spend more time looking at this, we will see that people like Zoran Mandami are fundamentally not Americans. They don't identify as an American.
No, they don't.
They don't put their country first. They put their ethnicity first. They put their religion first. And they do not put their country first. People like this have no position in power. And ultimately, I don't really think Zoran is the problem. I think it's the fact that we have imported a bunch of people who, based off of an ethnic, racial, and religious basis, have voted him into this position are the problem. And I think that we need to systematically denaturalize and deport every single one of them. That's what I think that we need to do.
Well, it's like what I had said whenever the ICE raids were going on in Minneapolis. We need to pull ICE out, and we should just immediately bring in the National Guard of the U.S. Army and roll Panzers up the block and get all these people, roll them out of their homes, and deport them. Like, from one side of the country all the way over, like one big sweeping comb. Search every house, every building, every street, everything, and get them out. Unless you're an immigrant who came here legally, you should immediately be deported. Not the worst of the worst. We're talking like everybody.
Immigrants that have come over here recently, they haven't assimilated, they're costing taxpayers money, etc. They all need to go, in my opinion. I think all of them need to go. And if that happened, I think that things would be a lot better overall,
absolutely.
Right? They would definitely be a lot better. And so, they would never go
like
to
the
war with
minute
us.
that the United States military gets to the city, they should shut the city down, have shelter in place, and arrest anybody that's not sheltered in place. Like, get this over with, man. This prolonged BS, we could get this done in like a couple months to a year. Straight up.
Exactly. And that's really, that's the main thing, is that these people probably would not fight for America. They would not actually, you know, they don't probably identify as Americans. They view America as an economic zone that they can take advantage of, while maliciously and I think also, you know, like cynically using American values
They
against
are. They're too
Americans
soft.
so they can continue.
It's a good thing that the people running the military aren't like that. That's why they're bombing the shit out of Iran right now.
To consolidate power and effectively play their own game while they don't let anybody else play the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really the way I see it. And yeah, they fly their flags, exactly. And if it was up to me, I would remove all these people.
They migrate to America, and then they fly their own damn flags, and it's like, you do realize that doesn't look good, right?
Demographic change that somebody like Zoran would never even have a chance of winning, right? And I think, by the way, people like him, like, this is the truth. The reason why Democrats want to import all of these people in from third world countries is that they want to weaponize and basically take control of identity and racial politics and be able to weaponize a non-white, non-Christian, non-American, non-Western coalition of people to vote as a bloc in order to enact their policies. That's clearly what the goal is. And if Americans don't wake up to this, I think it's just going to continue to get worse.
Obviously,
and I think that not only do we have to stop it from happening, but we have to undo it from happening. And that means denaturalizing, deporting, removing legal citizens, as well as obviously residents, and of course illegal aliens. I think we need to go completely across the board. America has in some places been totally colonized by these people. They are fundamentally and by every
that's what it is. It's colonization. Whenever you import a bunch of people and you're trying to preach the Bible on a street corner and you get ran out by another group of people that claim that it's their community, and they're not Americans, they're like Somalians or Muslims, or they're, you know, like I don't know, South African, you have a problem. You have a problem. It's an issue. If they're literally taking over the streets, they're calling communities theirs, even though they're using the American Constitution to force out Americans. Like, they figured out the exploit, guys, and we're the ones getting exploited.
by every definition of the words, not American. And the sooner that Americans realize this and they stop, hiding behind their, Reddit tier, identity politics platitudes, right? Oh, well, we're all the same. No, we're not. They're not the same as you. And they know that. You don't know that. And that's why they keep beating you. And they're going to continue to, basically take advantage of you. How do we deport citizens? Well, you just basically take away their citizenship and then you send them back to where they came from, right? I mean, obviously.
I don't think it's the internet or technology at all. If it was internet and technology, you would be seeing a lot. Like, I don't know about you, but the first time that I got the internet, I looked up a lot of like war stuff because I'm a guy. I was like, oh, I want to see all the cool pictures and shit, right? And I just don't think it's that. I think it's because we have two generations of people that don't know what it's like to fight in a war and do anything that you realize that we had a generation like boomers that fought in World War and war, right? They were taking the blood of their own allies that had fallen in combat and rubbing it on their face to make the next generation, just to live through the Nazi regime. The desperation that the war had to fight and live or face total extermination, that shocked generations. And now that it's over, the people that lived it never wanted their kids to see it. So they did everything they could to avoid it. And that's the issue I think we've got, is whenever you push that into people, that avoidance, you get a bunch of generations of people that are willing to literally be slaves before they can, it's like submission through generations. They would rather be slaves and die a slave than to fight back and see the war because of what their elders, like the boomers or World War II and World War I era people saw. That's what it's really about. It's generational fear.
I mean, duh. Like, what do you mean? How do you do it? It's pretty simple. So, yeah. And you see Turkey move some of their fighter jets to North Cyprus.
Exactly.
Yeah,
people don't have to fight for their lives anymore because of how civilized everything is. They don't understand what war looks like. And you know what the sad part is that even if you told them and they understood mentally, cognitively, that they, like, for example, them putting bombs on kids and running them up to soldiers, they still wouldn't want to fight. That's the sad part.
If your loyalty in war is not with your own nation, you should not have citizenship in that nation. Exactly. That's retarded. Why? So you think it's a good thing for us to have people that are... I don't think we should do it to everybody categorically. I'm saying that I think that it should be to people that are drains on society, right? So, like, if somebody is an immigrant citizen that isn't really contributing anything to the country, I think we should just take away their citizenship and send them back to where they came from.
I agree. If you come to the country and you don't have a job or you're not paying into... Like, if you come here and you don't take from our welfare and you're legally here... I mean, I really don't see a point in sending you back. Is you're not paying into the system and you're not taking from the system. So I could see why you could probably stay, but is that best for you? Probably not. It really just isn't. So why not just send these people back? If all you're doing is taking from the system and you're not putting back into it with a job using taxpayer money, then you need to go. Like, there shouldn't even be a question about it.
I think that's what we should do. And I think that would be the right decision to make. And that's the decision that, and this is important, that's the decision that is in the best interest of American citizens. And, excuse me. And that's what matters the most to me, right? But these people don't care about that. And they will always advocate for it. This is one thing you have to understand.
Well, you realize that whenever Trump gave the State of the Union, he said to all the people in the room, Democrats and Republicans, if you stand for the American people and you believe in helping the American people, then stand up, clap, and all you saw was a bunch of Democrats that didn't. That should be the biggest indicator to any average voter, any average person that lives in America. These people aren't for Americans. They're for importing their own group of people and getting their votes that way and using the welfare systems as leverage and the fact of deportation as leverage. That's what they're for.
Like Zoran, they will always advocate for and downplay any degree of terrorism or any degree of bad behavior with their own racial and ethnic and religious identities. They will always do it. These people play identity politics to win. Other people, Americans, real Americans, don't do that. These people do, and that's why they win. It's because whenever you don't play a game and your opponent does, you end up losing and they beat you.
You lose by default. Yeah.
So anyway, so you want America to be isolationist? That's not what I said. I didn't say that. It's not even worth explaining the difference to you. So, yeah, actual disabled Americans like my cousin and illegal immigrants on welfare. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously I don't want to have disabled Americans lose their welfare. I mean, of course not.
Because that's what's going to happen, is if we don't get these people out, there's going to be a lot of disabled people that are going to lose all their welfare. They're going to lose food stamps. They're going to lose their Social Security. And they're not even going to be able to actually go out and work for their living because they're disabled. What's going to end up happening is if they're lucky enough to have family, they're going to end up being stuck with their family, and the burden of medical and food and straight up being the, parents that are going to have to take care of that other family. If you're lucky, but the rest of these people, they're probably going to die. That's what really sucks about it, is the long-term shock to our economy that this is going to have, even if we were to deport all these people, is going to be negative.
I think they should get more welfare.
It's going to affect us for the rest of our lives.
We can't do that because we're funding entire civilizations to come over here and then live off of us. It's awful. So that's really the way I feel about it.
And then, you have to realize they're coming here and doing that, and then we're sending billions of dollars overseas to their own countries to, quote-unquote, make them better. We've been doing this for 30 years. If us sending them money constantly isn't making them better in 10 years, why are we still doing it? Why are we sending them more money? More money's not going to help. They don't. It's like if you give money to somebody that likes to gamble and they never solved their gambling addiction. Why would you continue to give that person money? Because they're just going to gamble all their money away. If you could have $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $1 million, $1 billion, but if you just won't leave the casino, you're going to lose all your goddamn money. It doesn't matter how much money you could have infinite wealth, and somehow you'll whittle it. Well, I mean, you would be able to whittle that, but still, you know what I'm saying? You're going to lose money. That casino going to be rich.
That's what my opinion is. And I think it's pretty obvious that you have people like this that go around, and I can scroll down and read some of the comments. Probably not Jake's comment, but we can read the other ones. You left out an important detail. Yeah, exactly, right? Here's what you left out. Explosive was thrown by Muslims. They were shouting Allah Akbar. Exactly. The fact that you open your statement referring to Jake Lang as a white supremacist instead of condemning the guy that literally tried to throw a bomb at peaceful protesters tells us everything that we need to know about you and your usefulness. Well, he's extremely useful, just not for you. And that's the problem. Useless. And so, yeah, these are the two terrorists that they caught yesterday. As I said, they should have already hung these two people. It should have happened this morning. It's pretty obvious that these people threw the bomb. We have it on video. It's obvious. And so, again, that's really the way that stuff like this should be dealt with. Kansas City Airport evacuated. Wait, what? There's another bomb threat? Let me see.
Oh, that's right. No, there was a bomb. Yeah, that's right. In Kansas City, there was a bomb threat on a plane. They had to find it. I think they found one, too. So they tried to bomb an American airplane.
What the hell is this? Is there another one? I haven't heard this at all. This is new.
I think they found it. I'm not sure.
Bomb threat in Kansas City International Airport calls evacuate. Oh, my God. What is this?
That's terrifying.
How would you fix the dramatic decline in birth rates? Subsidize childcare for actual Americans. That'd be number one. That'd be my main thing. Obviously, I'd do other stuff too, but that'd be the main thing. And they still deserve a trial, even though it's pretty clear they did it. You can't just not whack people in the same day you arrest them.
If you have video footage and it comes from an extremely credible source, you should. It's completely obvious, man. Like, come on.
Oh, and why not? It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious they did it. I mean, I feel like there should be exceptions for everything, right? I think that's an
Exactly.
exception.
Exactly.
Throw a bomb into a crowd of peaceful protesters. I think you should be swinging the next day. Sorry
I agree.
to say, it's pretty obvious open and shut case to me.
I agree. I think that the problem is fraud. The problem is 100% fraud. Because Minneapolis subsidized childcare, but instead of it going to the actual daycares in order to lower the amount that it costs for the kids to be put into the daycare, it ended up being fraudulently taken and sent to terrorists, so...
Yep, citizens of a trial? Yeah, definitely. They got them on tape, absolutely. And not terrorists. I mean, they're fundamentally terrorists. But anyway, this is something different. And anyway, police in Bond 17 Dams currently sweeping the concourse and terminals as authority investigate. This is what happens when we start wars with foreign nations like Iran.
That is an insane... Just because... Oh, man, let's just break that down. Because we're risking bomb threats in our own countries, we should never start a war with a foreign country. What mentality is that? Bro, that's farm animal mentality. What the fuck? What is that mentality? Bro, these people need to be rounded up and brought over to the pen, man. What the hell? You got some sheep loose.
Of the argument that Ed has about this, that we can't start wars with foreign countries because then they're going to terrorize us. I can't think of a better argument for starting a war against Iran than the fact that if you make them mad, they're going to try to blow up your airports. Like, okay, wow, wait a minute. I'm right. Oh my God, that's crazy. What a fucking surprise. He's so fucking... Well, what this is, again, people that think like this, what happens is that they get colonized and taken advantage of slowly, because as they allow more of this into their community, eventually it becomes a majority and then they become oppressed. That's what happens, right?
Yep.
And because they're afraid of having a slight amount of friction in resisting that initial encroachment, they end up having the inevitable oppression. And I think that's kind of what Ed is advocating for. I think this is stupid. I don't know why.
And what we should do is we should take these people and pull them out of power. If you're that stupid that you are willing to be colonized by a different country and you openly state stuff like that, if you're a politician or a governor, you need to be pulled out of your position. Because you're too fucking stupid to fend for your own American citizens. You're dumb. You need to go.
Would say this, it's retarded. So yeah, there's another bomb threat that's been called out. And again, it's also, by the way, there's nothing here that says it has anything to do with Iran. Nobody has said anything about Iran. None of this has been shared.
It is interesting how he immediately tried to link it to Iran, though, isn't it?
People are just inventing their own narrative to begin with. Look at this.
It could just be coincidence.
Oh my God.
Let's move on. It could just be coincidence, but who knows?
To be doing straight up pro-Iran regime propaganda because someone gave this guy a coffee. What is this?
Wait, what?
Let me look at this. This is CNN.
Taking a quick break for a coffee along the way. We've been driving for several hours. There's a couple of things that we've noticed. Number one is that, first of all the shops are open. All the shops are really well stocked, even with fresh things, like, for instance, fruits and vegetables. Coffee, obviously, also
is he in Iran?
As well.
Yeah.
And then also the gas stations. There's no long lines as gas stations. Fuel seems readily available, and you just don't see any sort of degree of panic anywhere.
Do you know why?
It's because they're not attacking the Iranian people. It's because if that's Iran, it's because they're attacking military bases. Duh. The Iranian people know that the Americans don't want really anything to do with them. They're taking out their shite government.
Why do they have to be afraid whenever our war isn't against them?
Exactly.
It is against their fucking fascist, religious, nutjob oppressors. That's what people are actually up against. There isn't a war against...
It sucks because Iran is actually a very well-built country. Like, this looks like a brand new gas station. It looks amazing. It's their damn government. The government's crazy.
It's the Iranian people. There's a war for the Iranian people. Why the fuck would they be upset or stressed out about this? Why would we bomb a gas station? It's retarded. So that's it. These are propaganda places? No, I assume that the majority of Iran probably is not in total chaos. I bet that there are a few really, really big hotspots, like the big cities, that where the IRGC is concentrated at, and you're probably going to have a ton of...
you're going to see a bunch of bombs landing where the IRGC are. America's war is not with the Iranian people, it's with their government. And here's the crazy part, is that if they didn't feel the way they feel about their government, they would be fighting Americans. You've got CNN reporter down in Iran walking around like it's another day. Of course.
Bombs and a ton of stuff that's happening
They
there.
hate their government. Like, they want this to happen. They begged for Trump to go there and do this.
But I bet even in places in Tehran, you can get away from that different, like, fucking crazy shit, and you can have your own little piece by yourself. I think that's probably what's happening right now. So, yeah, and that's it right there. Exactly, yeah. Anyone near bases, yeah, sure, of course it's going to be chaotic. But besides that, it's not like it's everywhere else. This confirms the U.S. and Israel are doing a good job. It does. This confirms that we are doing a very, very good job because the people in Iran do not have their quality of life damaged and destroyed. Iran has no more media broadcasters that got blown to pieces. So now CNN is taking over the role as its propagandist, apparently shameless. And I know that they're trying to portray this.
That's funny. It is. That's hilarious to me because you know that anyone that CNN talks to has to go through probably like a receptionist almost that will approve or disapprove what is coming out of Iran or Iran. It's kind of, it's funny how these people fall for this. Like whenever they went down after all the protests that happened and the 31,000 people were killed, they I think it was CNN. I think it was CNN that walked around and they went and talked. Well, they didn't walk around. They talked to a few people that were brought to them by that current regime, which was the Ayatollah that got bombed. And they believed that what the people were saying was true, even though you had the internet cut off and then you had people using Starlink to try and send messages out of what was going on. It just...
So it's like somehow this is some sort of like, I don't even know what they're trying to say, but, you know, they're trying to put this out like, oh, it's not a big war. Yeah, because it's not against the people that are there. That's the real reason why. I still don't understand as a Kuwaiti why we're under attack 24/7. I have no idea either, honestly. I really don't. What is this? Iran's Department of Propaganda didn't quite get the scale right. Oh, here's another one.
Now, a lot of Iranian accounts are posting this video claiming that Iran has taken down the B-2 stealth.
B-2 bomber has never been taken out of the sky. The B-2 bomber flies so high in the air that if anything were to hit it, by the time it would land, like hit the ground, it would be in pieces everywhere. But no one has ever been able to militarily strike a B-2 bomber. It's just too fast.
Bomber.
Wow.
In reality, this is not a real B-2 bomber.
Wow.
As you
Wait,
guys can
really?
tell from the scale.
It's too small.
No way. No way. It's a fake photo.
But also, American B-2 bombers don't have an
and Iran is putting this stuff out so that way the Iranian people think that America is losing. That's why they're putting this out. That's why Twitter has already suspended the Iran military account and the Iran government account for this reason exactly.
Flagpole on it, as you can see right here in orange. That flagpole does not go to the ground. It seems like it's just attached to the bomber.
Okay. It's not even a shadow.
In reality, B-2 bombers are a lot bigger, as you can see from
Holy shit, I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah.
God damn. Well, how big is a B-2 bomber? Holy shit. God damn, that's pretty big. I didn't know it was that big. Holy shit, all right. Versus commercial
That's right,
airline.
boys. That's the big black Dorito that's worth more than the GDP of some countries, That's a big black Dorito. Man, Doritos needs to do like a like an actual oh my god, what is it? Where you a collaboration. They need to do a collaboration with the U.S. military, and like they should be like, well, every one bag that you buy of the black Doritos is $1 towards bombing Iran. I'm so sorry, I'm going to hell.
In comparison versus commercial airline.
I'm going to hell.
It's not really showing it. Wait. It's the size of a fucking commercial. Oh my god.
That's a huge plane. Jesus. You notice, this was pointed out to me, and I want to point this out to the people watching. If you've ever noticed that the B-2 bomber is the only plane in the world that looks the way it does, even our own fighter jets don't look anything like the B-2 bomber. Our other planes look nothing like the B-2 bomber. Literally is the only thing like it in the entire world.
Shit! I didn't know it was that big. Oh my god. Yeah, all right. That's a B-52? Oh, is that even bigger? I don't know. Well, yeah, worth 2.1 billion. Oh my god. And we've had B2s for what? Oh my god, 36 years. That's crazy.
Real picture with the
To give you an idea of how badass this plane is, they've wanted to retire this plane for well over 30, 40 years. They can't because it's too efficient.
human standing next to it, and
Yeah.
here another one. It
Look
has
at
to
that.
carry 60,000 pounds of bunker busters.
60,000,
so
yeah.
It needs to be a lot bigger.
Those are the
than
two
whatever this
30,000
image is
pound
showing.
bombs.
Subscribe for more.
So big surprise. It was Iran's Air Force was already obsolete when Top Gun came out, the original one. The gap between Iran's oldest jets. Oh, here's another one too. That's about their jets. Just popping in saying, love the WoW streams, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. When are you going to play WoW? Soon, man. Very soon. And this is also from this morning. Take a look at this. Here we go.
Oh, is that the
This
oil
isn't Tehran.
refinement material?
And you can see very clearly that the majority of everyday life is continuing on as relatively normal, right? As normal as it can be in a situation like this.
Hey,
the whole city isn't getting blown up. It's very specific strikes.
Think about the precision that is, man. How precise that strike is. That's insane. Hey, these people having like their own government officials just getting bombed, and then they just chilling. They're just chilling.
Release the files now? Which ones? Do you think if Iran threw a PAL ball at the B-2 bomber, I'd be able to catch it? No, I think it'd just bounce off, honestly. They're trying. Because we don't target civilians like Iran does? Yeah, I know. That's the difference. Very big difference. Huge difference right there. But, yeah. You don't want to go after civilians, because if you do, then that's one of those bunker buster bombs. So this is the... Let me see if I can...
Opportunity to fight Hezbollah. Chief foreign correspondent Trey Yinks joins us live from Tel Aviv with the latest.
Do you think other countries will be actively involved? Hey,
I
it
think
said
I
on
already
Twitter
have
that he's...
pulled up. Hold on. Let me swap over. There we go. This was uploaded. This was 2 hours ago. There's no way it's the same. Oh man, we got some updates. Hold on. Oh, that's right. They got a new Ayatollah, guys. They got a new one. They got a new one.
Now, growing questions about the future of Iran as the terror regime names the Ayatollah's son as its new supreme leader. He's a hardline cleric, widely considered more radical than his dad.
President Trump warned.
You think these people ever learn?
Quote, he's going to have to get approval from us. If he doesn't get approval from us, he's not going to last long.
God damn. Bro, I love how honest he is, too.
Former ambassador at large and counterterrorism coordinator Nathan Sales served in the State Department in President Trump's first term, and he joins us now. Nathan, thanks so much for joining the program. So we had a lot of...
You have to realize that this is the same man Let's see if I can find it. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. Oh, what the fuck? Why did it automatically do Iran? Uh... Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. I think it was a short, I believe.
The ladies on The View.
No. What was that? It was like what was that? It was guy talking about what Trump told the hold on. What Trump There's a guy that was on the news that talked about what Trump did to the leader of the Iraq people whenever they were doing a withdrawal from Iraq. He pulled out a phone with the family members. Ah, I found it. I found it. There we go, boys. Y'all gonna like this. Y'all gonna like this. This is what he did to the Taliban leader. It's what he did. Fuck, where's it at? Oh, here it is.
President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal. And translator translated. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you. And the translator goes, and Trump goes, tell him.
Yes.
Tell him what I said. Tell him what I said. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
Sure did.
Do you know for 18 months not a single American was killed in Afghanistan?
Sure did.
That's the definition of strength. That's what I'm talking about. And so you could imagine that kind of sentiment being around the world. If we
think about that. Bro handed that shit to the Taliban. We was in Iraq for 20 years, and Trump ended that shit overnight. We were in Iraq because they wanted to be in Iraq, not because we were losing. That's why we were in Iraq.
And they've been across, other networks as well. And many of the people following this didn't think that they were going to choose the sun. They got it wrong. Why do you think?
Well, I think the Iranian regime is doubling down on its failed strategy of trying to defy and wage war on the United States.
I don't even know why they keep appointing another supreme guy. They have a prince. There was an Iranian prince that talked. Why are they not
in the West? This is an establishment choice. He may not have been the consensus frontrunner, but picking the son of the old leader signals continuity, and it's very much a meet the new boss, same as the old boss type situation.
No, because from what you just said is that he's even more radical, which means that there's a good chance that this guy is going to be calling for even more bombings in America.
about this new guy. He has very strong ties to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the sort of shock
Kamala would
troops
never.
of the Iranian regime and its exporter of revolutionary ideology around the region. Of course, that's just formalizing what has always been the case. The IRGC has long been the power behind the throne when it comes to the Iranian regime. So this just sort of brings that role out of the shadows and into the spotlight.
I know you've talked about the 3 goals, which is the nuclear weapons, make sure they don't have nuclear weapons, the ballistic missile threat, and the terror proxies. This is what the New York Times is saying about about Iran being able to retrieve their uranium. They say American intelligence agencies have determined that Iran or potentially another group could retrieve Iran's primary store of highly enriched uranium, even though it was entombed under the country's nuclear site at Isfahan by U.S. strikes last year. Officials familiar with the intelligence said that Iran can now get to the uranium through a very narrow access point. What's your reaction to that? We don't want them to have access to this.
Well, it sounds like the
Why the hell would they be, dude? Why would they cook themselves like that?
Another target to the list. The Iranians are going to keep trying at this. The reason why this war started is because of their determination to preserve a pathway to a bomb. So it shouldn't.
And you know what's crazy is that they did all this with normal missiles. Just imagine if these were nukes instead. Think about how many of these countries would be barren wastelands because of this. Think about that.
At all, that they're going to do what they can to recover access to their highly enriched uranium. But we have a play here as well, and that is the same play that we made last
Bomb the
June
shit out of them?
when we targeted the nuclear weapons program. We can drop a couple of bombs on that target, I imagine, and make it pretty difficult to excavate that uranium.
Well, that would certainly help. So Ali
They just wait for them to load it up onto a truck and then bomb the truck. They like let them take however long it takes for them to get it loaded up, and then they just bomb it.
He says, we're going to relentlessly avenge the blood of our leader and our people, meaning the Ayatollah. Trump must pay and will pay. Trump came back and says, I have no idea who this guy is, who they're talking about. What is your take on the bravado we're still getting from them? Even though they've been devastated, we're moving past Tehran now into the heartland, targeting the IRGC in all 31 provinces.
Well, I think part of this is for a domestic audience. I think the regime is afraid for its life, and it's trying to signal...
Well, they should be. They absolutely should be as well. Like
to Iranian citizens that they're still in charge and they're still in control. I don't think the Iranian people believe it. You know, we saw hundreds of thousands of people out in the street last January.
Here's what I think happened. I feel like the prior Ayatollah, Al-Khamenei, had set up his systems to automatically start shooting, like his people, well, like a dead man switch. He set up all of his commanders to just start bombing everything the minute he gets killed, as if to say, if you kill me, then this is going to happen. But the thing is that instead of it going the way that they thought it would, which is, how could the Americans attack them? We have to fight, for Iran's sake, because if not, then we're just going to get bombed. But what ended up happening is they ended up all joining in and advocating for America to take Iran. So it's like, you did all this in the hopes that whenever America attacks, that people would be against America and for Iran, but because your regime was so fucking bad, people are cheering America on, including your own people. So it just, only a madman could make such a dead man switch, honestly. If that's what really happened, that's genuinely what I think happened with this. And now that most of their rocket missile launchers have been blown up, most of their missiles building abilities have been blown up. All of their enriched uranium places have been shut off or bombed into a mission. Like, it's obvious that the regime is even trying to hide the new supreme leader for the sake of him being bombed. I mean, how many radicals can you have before the next radical says, I'm not willing to die for this, you know?
in response to which tens of thousands were murdered by regime.
They need to figure out who's appointing these leaders, and they need to get them too.
So I think this is partly a play for the regime to convince a very doubtful Iranian public that they're still calling the shots.
Wow. Nathan Sales, thanks so much.
Thank you, Nathan.
I'm Steve Dusey.
That's crazy,
I'm Brian
bro.
Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
Actually, fucking crazy. It's crazy.
He's having dinner. Direct ballistic missiles on aircraft carrier Naval Fleet Abraham Lincoln. This is the same video we've seen.
Oh man, boys, they blew up the Abraham Lincoln again. Why do they have Coast Guard? Why is there a Coast Guard all the way over there? No one's gonna talk about the Coast Guard?
Before. Oh my god. Yeah, guys. No way. What is the what's the new video? If I can find it. Is this another one?
No.
You can't conceive of
No.
Iranians determine their future through the ballot box. We
Does that
will
make
not
sense?
repeat the
Hopefully that
mistakes
makes more
of
sense.
past.
That's the Iranian prince. This is the guy that should be running that place right now. Why do they? Who is this regime that keeps like appointing these religious radicals? Who is that? How come this guy has no say in that? How do you have this? Like, how do you have these people ruling over your own country? That's what I'm confused about. Like, this is the Iran prince. Why do you have a organization of people appointing new supreme leaders whenever you have technically a leader that wants to do he wants a democracy, he wants ballot boxes? What the fuck are we doing?
Going to come in, and he wasn't necessarily going to lead the country. Now, if they voted for him to lead, maybe he would. But it was basically to facilitate a transition of power to where there's not a power vacuum, because that's whenever all of the insurgencies and all of the crazy people take over.
Iranians determine their future through the ballot box. We
Does that
will
make
not
sense?
repeat the
Hopefully that makes
mistakes
more
of
sense.
past transitions. We will avoid de-Baathification scenarios and maintain...
That's what happened after they had Saddam Hussein deposed, is that the Ba'ath Party was like his party, and they went crazy after that and caused a bunch of problems. I think that's what people are saying created ISIS.
As many bureaucrats...
Oh
and
yeah,
public-
you're gonna see a bunch of new terrorist regimes pop up all over from that. But what should happen is they should figure the American government should figure out who's funding those terrorist regimes and then go after them next.
servants
Like
in
you
transition
don't
as
change a terrorist regime by getting rid of them. You got to cut off their funding so they have no way to attack anybody. I mean, they could still attack somebody, but it's going to be so pathetic and weak that just average people, like the average police, will be able to handle it for the most part. You have to scatter these people by cutting off the heads of the snake,
made their choice at an enormous price. Now I ask our friends in the Arab world to join us, to prepare to recognize and engage our transitional government. We will rebuild our nation not for expansion, but to serve the Iranian people. We will base our diplomatic relations.
You know what I'm really scared is going to happen? I feel like they're gonna try to kill this man.
Exportation of ideology.
I do. I think they're gonna try to,
mutual respect
if they haven't already
and
done
shared
it.
interest.
Finally,
we
That's
will
great.
reintegrate into the regional and global economy to increase prosperity for the citizens of all of our nations.
See, I think that's
Dude,
another.
this
really-
is the guy that should be ruling. That's who should be ruling their country right now. I don't know what the fuck they're like. What are they doing?
big component is that once they're able to actually do trade with everybody and they're able to be like a normal country, it's going to make that country a lot richer than it already is.
Yeah.
Because obviously, the people.
Well, I
in
mean,
Iran
like
are-
the people at the bottom, the people that rose up against the Iranian government, they weren't going to be rich anyway. They had all their money taken away. They're living through literal, like, starvation and dehydration death. It's not even funny. Like,
very,
it's
very
fucked.
well educated, so they could create a lot of things that probably would have a lot of value.
And it sucks because that, like, the Iranian people and their culture and their their cities and infrastructure are pretty damn advanced. I don't understand what the fuck happened. Like, this is what happens when you have shit leadership. It is.
Standing with the Iranian people is not charity. It is a strategic investment in making our region one of the most stable, secure, and prosperous in the world. Together, we can build a Middle East our children will be proud to inherit.
And they won't get bombed.
Take this new path with us.
Yeah. Nicole John Sezion, a journalist in Jerusalem, joins us now. So Nicole,
I don't experts.
Seems
potential
the war weeks around
to have Iran.
Something else, but like that's generally what I think is going to happen. We'll see. So this is the worse. They're using a one. Akbar while lighting a homemade ordnance and throwing it at anti-Islam.
There we go.
Man shouts Allahu Akbar while lighting a homemade ordnance and throwing it at anti-Islam protesters in New York City. The NYPD quickly took this guy down. Take a look at this.
Oh, that's the guy. Look, he's trying to light it. He's trying to light it. There he goes. He's running. Boy, they got him, too. You see what I'm saying? Look at all those people getting after him. Not a single one of them ran away from that man. Not a single one. See, these people may be stupid, but they still got some American in them. That's right. That's what I was saying before with the Boston bombings and the Twin Tower attacks. No matter how much you try to colonize us, you don't seem to understand that you can never break the American spirit. That's why you'll always see people run away and then towards the incident. Always. You'll always see that.
We need to start hanging these people. We do. We gotta start hanging them.
Context.
A counter-protester, identified as Amir Balat, lit and threw an ignited device toward the protest area before it struck a barrier and extinguished itself. Mr. Balat then ran southbound and gets a second device from a man tentatively ID'd as Ibrahim Nick. Mr. Balat lights the device and starts running with it. Based on preliminary examination and X-ray imaging, the devices appear to be a jar wrapped in black tape with nuts, bolts, and screws, along with a hobby fuse that could be lit.
Like, the moment that you try to throw a bomb into a group of people, realistically, it'd probably take a day to do the trial. That's just an immediate, bro, like, it's time for you to go.
Get up, get up.
Yep. You stupid little bitch. Yep. Get him out of here. Yep. Look at his stupid hair too. Look at his stupid little stupid.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
You should put him in jail just for that. He's lucky he didn't get lynch mobbed. Yeah, that's true. No, what they need to do after they get these guys, what they need to do is they got to go and, like, they have a network. You take their communication devices and then you look at the other people that they're coordinating with, and then you go after those people too. Anybody that was involved with this is my opinion. I think that if any of them are foreigners, we just take away their citizenship and, we send them back. Young soul, poisoned by ideology. You cannot kill everybody. Killing them is the same level like them, brother.
These people are literally trying to bomb every country around, and they have sent out terrorists into every country to prevent people from trying to get rid of their own regime. These people pre-planned for this. Nah.
Not even engage this childish Marvel movie ideology. No.
Yeah, we got absolutely not.
Oh, somebody's having a bad day. These pranks will start to radicalize a lot of people. They're not pranks. These people are terrorists.
That's right, America.
The Democrat mayor randomly got attacked while walking around San Francisco, and suddenly he's now
Decoy, hell yeah, Decoy. Go check out Decoy on YouTube.
saying the city needs a reset. As sadly, this isn't the only random assault in that city that afternoon, and he isn't even the only Bay Area mayor.
Man, it sure is nice to start seeing these rich people getting assaulted now. I know that comes across as real smug and fucked up, but how many New York people have been assaulted prior to this that went to the police and got shrugged off, and now you see now that it's escalating and escalating and escalating because you're sitting here and you're defunding the police, and now the mayor is getting assaulted just by walking on the street. What the hell did you... Soon you're going to be seeing all these people getting their houses broken into, and they're going to be wondering, well, what the hell happened?
Politely stand there while watching his own police get pummeled in front of him.
What a joke.
Now, nobody's expecting the mayor to square up with the homeless and start dishing out vigilante justice, but at the very least, maybe don't bashfully look down at the ground with your hands in your pockets while your cop gets gashed on the head. As a local outlet reported, the officer left leaking, reporting 3 random dudes blocked their car while rambling gibberish. So when the officer asked them to simply move, that's when the attack began, slamming the mayor's security onto the ground, leaving a strawberry on the back of his skull, until he and his friend were allegedly arrested as he repeatedly screamed, "F you." And anybody living in the city without security has experienced this same exact scenario on repeat, except those don't end in any arrests. As Kevin Dalton points out, the accused attacker should have been in prison, as 6 years ago, he stabbed a man, ending him, which is tragic.
What? This dude's literally a...
As 6 years ago, he stabbed a man, ending
How is it... Dude... So he stabbed somebody and then like, you know, killed him? Like, what the fuck?
Which is tragic in itself. Except I wouldn't be surprised if that guy gets longer sentencing for mildly inconveniencing the mayor than literally ending the life of a random citizen. As I imagine that's why the mayor didn't seem to care about the insane amounts of mentally unhinged individuals grazing freely in his city, preying easily on his citizens. As even more tragic, this wasn't even the only random assault in that same city in that same afternoon.
Iran struck Dubai? Seriously? What the fuck, man? What did Dubai do?
Of course, I couldn't show that full video, as that man got randomly stabbed in the back.
You know what's hilarious about this? Is that these rich people keep defunding the police, and they keep letting these people go, and they keep getting away with stuff. Why wouldn't you, as a criminal, look at bigger fish? Like, if you go and rob a house, and you get like, I don't know, like $1,000 worth of goods, then why wouldn't you just rob a more expensive house if you got let off? Why would you stop there? But you get what I'm saying? If you are rich and you have a nice walled off house and you think that you're safe because your house is walled off, you know, you don't believe in borders, but you sure do love your borders, don't you? And it's interesting how they think that these people they keep letting out onto the street are not going to take them as targets. If anything, they would be considered more of a target because they have more money. They have more things to steal. Not necessarily more things, but more expensive things. So why the hell wouldn't they do that? It's so... It just,
meanwhile, the whole city seemed to collectively not even flinch at that attack. As let's really resonate on that. If a guy got randomly stabbed by a bum in, say, a museum, everybody would be panicking.
$800 a day is a damn good hourly job. That's a good amount of money.
And probably running. But when this happens in, say, midday in the streets of San Francisco, the average citizen doesn't even flinch.
I think most people that work like $21 an hour work for like, what, 10 hours? That's only like, it's only like a couple hundred, ain't it? It's like I think at the most 200? Dude, that's 100, and then taxes take out most of that. But I mean, if you selling that stuff under the table, that's $800 straight up.
As it's such a common occurrence. And when I tried to find more information on the incident, the only thing online was this random Reddit post from the guy's family, and other instances of this same exact crime one day earlier. It's almost like GTA 6 dropped in San Francisco, and they just didn't tell anybody but the bums. As that insane amount
And
of
that's what's even scarier about this, is this is happening in every city. Oh, well, every city that defunded the police and aren't allowing the police to arrest people and do their job. So this is happening in every state where the police have been defunded. This is the reason why you have that one lady that fled Ukraine and got stabbed in the neck on the subway. Like, whenever you sit there and defund the police and you let these people go because of corrupt judges, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get this random article out of nowhere where a war-torn Ukraine lady fled her own country and then gets stabbed in America. Like,
this doesn't happen overnight, but only after decades of unilateral Democrat leadership that only seems to care when it randomly finds them in the street. As the day before the attack, the mayor bragged about his homeless initiatives.
An update on our work to get people off the street and onto a path to stability. We're making progress. I know it doesn't always feel that way, but we are making progress, and we're going to continue to be relentless on this.
But the day after the attack, he now says the city needs a reset.
San Francisco needs a reset.
It's what I had said before. You can defund the police all you want, but the minute that you get robbed, who is the first person you're going to call? The goddamn police. You can advocate for the removal of guns, but then when you're held down at gunpoint by somebody who got a gun illegally and you don't have a gun to defend yourself, well, what are you going to advocate for? You're going to advocate for more guns. Duh. Because then they catch the guy and they tell you, yeah, he got the gun illegally. Well, what the fuck, you know?
Our city charter is one of the longest in the country. It is bloated. It is broken, and it only works for the people who know how to manipulate it, not everyday San Franciscans. First, we're going to fix the city's broken contracting system to make sure that your tax dollars are being spent efficiently.
We're in Texas. We don't have that problem. It goes through pretty quick here too. I mean, even if somebody picks up, depending on how you defund your police, it could take them a while to get there.
And transparently. Right now, city contracting is too expensive, too slow, and too political. The end result? A delayed $1.7 million project for one toilet. We can do better.
And after all his
$1.7 million for one fucking toilet? Man, that thing must be made out of solid fucking gold, huh? That's got to be like the purest gold ever made, ain't it?
Project for one toilet. We can do better.
And after all his so-called progress with the homeless, the only reset the city needs is away from cowardly leaders like him, as the only thing that really fixes this issue is the mass incarceration of criminals that have proven time and time again nobody is safe around them. That is, unless you have your own security detail of police officers paid for by the taxpayer, as insanely, just under an hour away,
we gotta defund the mayor police. That's what we gotta do. We gotta defund the security around the mayor.
Democrat mayor from San Jose stood there and watched as his security also got pummeled.
Big surprise. Damn!
That guy had a long criminal history, including active warrants for assaults and resisting arrest back in Georgia. So initially, he was charged with a felony for attacking the mayor's security, but the liberal city's NAACP got angry over his arrest, resulting in his punishment mainly being court-ordered mental health treatment. It's no mystery as to why nobody is safe in these deep blue cities. It's just sad to see exactly why they choose not to enact.
I think it's an amazing thing to see this. I'm happy that these people are starting to get attacked because average people have had to deal with this for so long that it's nice to see that the people that make these decisions to defund our police are facing repercussions for their actions, finally. Finally.
Actual justice when their
I'm not advocating for it, but if some crazy homeless dude who doesn't even know who the hell it is that they're attacking starts attacking a random person, it just so happens to be either the mayor or the security to the mayor, and that day he just decided to do that, shit.
be social justice.
Get no sympathy
Because
from
it's
me,
not
bud.
Like the Bay Area can't simply reset the city and make it safe for everybody. They just don't seem to care when they themselves don't face the consequences
Exactly.
of a lawless city. As everybody knows how San Francisco has turned into a zombie apocalypse. But somehow, the city was cleaned and secured seemingly overnight. Also, California's Governor Newsom could meet with his favorite country's leader.
Folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town.
Yes, that's exactly. I guarantee you, if you had said that, you would have gained more people's respect. If you had just said that, you probably would have gained way more respect than lying.
It's true, because it's true.
And then again, overnight, the city reverted to
There
its
it is.
Elysium levels of suffering. But I can say with almost certainty that his calls for justice will end once somebody else says those prison sentences are pretty racist.
What a joke. What a joke. Seriously, what a joke. If your first time viewing the stream, hit the like button on the stream. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for being here. We're not into the stream. I'm just saying, hit the sub button. We're here Monday through Friday. Yes, sir. Speaking of that, hold on, let me see. Okay. Let's see. Do we have? Let me check out Fox right quick. Let me make sure we don't have anything. We don't have anything new coming our way. Let me see. Hold on. News. Video. Trump vows great change coming to Latin America. Oh, yeah, there's talk that he's going to be going after Cuba next.
Now this, President Trump putting the Don Road Doctrine into action, urging
Don
Latin
Road
American
Doctrine.
leaders.
He's putting the Don Road Doctrine into action.
Now this, President Trump putting the Don Road Doctrine into action, urging Latin American leaders to combat cartels and narco-terrorists, while signaling regime change is on the way in Cuba.
We're also looking forward to the great change that will soon be coming to Cuba. Cuba's at the end of the line. They have no money, they have no oil, they have a bad philosophy. I'll take care of it, okay?
Yeah, Trump signed in the doctrine, and now it's going to be a crackdown on all these fucking cartels.
So, and as these situations in Venezuela and Cuba should make clear under our new doctrine, and it is a doctrine, we will not allow hostile foreign influence to gain a foothold.
So, GOP Senator Bill Haggerty sits on Foreign Relations Committee and joins us now. Senator, titanic change. It really began with the Panama Canal, forcing them to get rid of China's ownership at the open and on both ends of it. But that was just the beginning.
I think you're exactly right, Brian. It is just the beginning, but we're seeing a sea change in all of Latin America. If you look at the national defense strategy, if you look at our national security strategy, the emphasis on Latin America has been enormous. Marco Rubio was formerly my colleague in the United States Senate on the Foreign Relations Committee. He understands this area very well, and as our Secretary of State is doing an outstanding job. And we're seeing a tremendous reinvigoration of our relationships in Latin America. China has been, as you know, particularly under the last administration, very aggressive in terms of moving into the area. Now America is showing back up economically, strategically, and working together militarily to deal with some of the greatest threats that we've got.
Honestly, this was all long overdue. It was. This has gone on unimpeded for so long. It's so ingrained in some of these people's culture especially here in America with all these fent zombies walking around. They're so used to it that they're terrified of it changing.
I mean, little by little, big countries and small. Guyana, which is awash in oil, has no defense. We've watched their back. Venezuela is threatening to take that country, and now Venezuela is now in the firm hands of Delcy Rodriguez. Then El Salvador, we watched them crack down and aid us when it comes to illegal immigrants. Dominican Republic, obviously.
El Salvador was the name of the country where the guy went through and cleaned up every single street. He got into power and he cleaned up every single street corner and locked up every gang member in El Salvador.
Honduras.
That's what we need to do here. That we need to do the exact same thing here.
Governments, Bolivia has flipped governments more friendly to us. And now we have a situation where Mexico is cracking down on their cartels. And we saw Ecuador do.
I want to see Vance as president. I do. He's got a few more things that I need convincing on, but so far, I would consider either Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance as really great candidates for America, like presidency.
Thing. Have we felt it here at home yet? Is there less drugs coming across now because of what's happening to our south?
The answer is yes. And the key element of all of this is President Trump's immediate move once he took office to secure our southern border. That was actually the fundamental requirement to be able to deal with the rest of Latin America, to stop the economic flow, to stop the drug flow, to stop the flow in human trafficking that has been feeding these cartels and these illicit narco-terrorists.
You know, you got to give Trump one thing. I bet Trump is really good at chess, because you could put millions of dollars into other countries to hope that they're going to utilize that money in order to bring up their own infrastructure and, you know, stop doing the bad shit they're doing where they're getting all this money from the drug dealers. You could start rounding up people and putting them in institutions so that way they get removed from the drugs and they're no longer able to get them. But let's just be honest here. Both of those things are just a waste of taxpayer dollars and a Band-Aid on the situation. What better way to stop it at the source than to go to the source? Cut off the tap. Straight up. Literally just fix it. I feel like that's what he's doing with what he's going to be doing with Cuba, with Mexico and the cartels, and with Iran, to be quite frank. What better way to stop the terrorist attacks than to just kill the terrorist regime, right? I mean, like, let's be honest. Seriously.
Once that was secure, we've been able now to step in and take strategic.
Wouldn't you rather spend millions of dollars on in a month than millions of dollars through 7 different presidents sending the money in like 47 years of misery trying to get this guy to come to the table? Like, how much money have we hemorrhaged to Iran after we got our, they captured a bunch of United States soldiers and then we had to pay Iran to get them back? How much money are we hemorrhaging to these places?
Economic moves that are totally changing the face of Latin America, and again, moving Latin America back where it should be, into our corner.
So let's focus on Cuba if we can. The president says it's about to fall. We cut off Mexico's oil deliveries there. They at least said they stopped. We also, obviously, Venezuela no longer delivering free oil to them. And that has allowed their influence to wane. That little island nation had influenced the entire area with their communist principles and some of the extortion backed up by Russia, backed up by China. So this ripple effect could bring down Cuba, something that even John F. Kennedy couldn't do.
Yep.
Well, you heard President Trump mention that he's not going to allow these entities to have a foothold in our region. And you just mentioned it. China, Russia, even North Korea has a very large embassy in Cuba. China was setting up intel operations under the Biden administration in Cuba. Russia, we know the relationship there has gone back, as you said, all the way to John F. Kennedy. We have been dealing with this 90 miles off of our shore. My understanding is that Secretary Rubio has had discussions with Raulito Castro. That's the grandson of Raul Castro. I don't think they'd be talking unless they're looking at some significant change. And we need to see the change for the better in this region. Again,
Absolutely.
That foothold, I think, is going to disappear thanks to President Trump's aggressive and bold actions here.
Senator, they're going to have to make a choice. Do they want to end up in a Brooklyn jail, or do they want to go someplace of their choosing? It depends on the type of landing they prefer. And I think the president's already demonstrated, when you look at Iran and Venezuela, He's not kidding.
Brian, you couldn't have said it any better. That's precisely the choice I think that people are facing, and they see that President Trump.
Well, that's
is serious.
exactly what was going on. I mean, think about Korea. Just Korea, they don't even have access to the internet outside of Korea. For the longest time, if you looked up a map of Korea, it was a grayed out zone that you couldn't even Google Maps that. You may still not even be able to. Their access to the public is so limited. They don't even let camera people in there, and if they do, they're so heavily monitored, it's not even funny. It's crazy that and it's funny that they're comparing it to Iran, because before they killed 32,000 people and probably more, they cut the internet off. They did. They cut the internet off, and it is a perfect comparison, because the minute these people got nukes, they would have put up walls. They would have been doing the exact same thing, threatening people all over the world. It's not.
And the
These people getting nukes is a terrible thing. It is. And it's a good thing that we stopped them when we did. It is.
To take place in the Southern District of New York. That is very serious indeed with respect to Maduro. It sends a strong message to all of these narco-terrorists that this administration means business, that the United States is back.
Are you comfortable with the evolution of Venezuela, with Delcy Rodriguez still in charge? A lot of people feel as though she can't be trusted, but so far the president has faith in her. Are you thinking they're still on the road to an election in 6 months down the line? Are you happy the way things are right now?
Well, that's certainly the conversation that's going on, that we're moving in the right direction. Rodriguez is cooperating with us. Secretary Rubio is very much on top of this situation. I think is confident that it's moving in the right direction. I have eminent faith in his viewpoint on this. So I think we are moving in the right direction and toward a position where Venezuela can be great again. It was once a thriving economy. The socialist leftist regimes have destroyed that. We're going to help bring it back. They have natural resources that are meaningful, not only to that country, but also to the region. We're seeing, again, the impacts, as you mentioned earlier, Brian, on Mexico by choking off the free oil that had been going in that direction. I'm sorry, not Mexico, but Cuba. So I think it's going to have a profound effect. The reconstruction of Venezuela is going to have a profound effect on the region.
And revenue is starting to flow again.
I mean, that's going to be the same thing with Iran. When Iran finally is able to rebuild its losses and have a leader that's going to work more for its own people and less for terrorist regimes all over the world, you're going to be seeing a huge explosion of wealth and oil and money going in and out of Iran. We're looking at seeing Iran become the next world power. Seriously.
Are coming back again, yes. And the sanctions are being relieved for the first time in 20 years. Senator Haggerty, thanks so much. Transformational times.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
We're sorry for firing all the missiles. We're not going to fire
so Iran's president
apologize. Let's go ahead and move on past this. And then immediately after that, they fire more missiles. What the hell is going on? So the president of the Islamic regime released a message where he says there won't be any more Iranian attacks on neighboring states. Drone debris from Marina 23 setting cars on fire in Dubai's street. Why would you be attacking Dubai? This is a drone strike on Dubai's international airport. They're not going to attack anymore. Saudi Arabia also got attacked too today. Iran shooting another fucking drone off, hitting another area. Iran 30 minutes after apologizing to neighboring countries. But there are some people saying that the IRGC is now directly contesting what the president was saying. Cracks emerge in Iran's leadership as it reels under bombardment. So wait a minute, that statement that they made was actually true. In one of the most open criticisms, hardline cleric and lawmaker Hamid Rashai addressed the president on social media saying, "Your stance was unprofessional, weak, and unacceptable." If this is what's happening publicly, privately, they are crashing out. When the president later repeated his earlier statement on social media, he left out the apology that had so angered the guards and other hardliners, an embarrassing retreat. I don't think you read Trump's statement.
Well, I mean, There ain't going to be nothing left to retreat if you guys don't surrender.
I didn't, actually. So Iran, which is being beat to hell, has apologized and surrendered to its Middle East neighbors and promised that it will not shoot at them anymore. Iran is no longer the bully of the Middle East. They are instead the loser of the Middle East.
Jesus Christ.
On who's winning the war.
Their army is gone. Their navy is gone. Communications are gone. Their leaders are gone. 2 sets of their leaders are gone. They're down to their 3rd set. Their air force is wiped out. They have 32 ships. All 32 are at the bottom of the ocean. Other than that,
that's right, boys. They're no longer ships. They're coral reefs.
Doing very well, Coach.
Iran is reportedly holding a session to select the new supreme leader tomorrow. It's going to be projected to be held in a virtual Zoom meeting. They're like, yeah, let's
they've resorted to Zoom, so they can't afford to have more of their leaders taken out, boys. Damn, America, let's go. America.
General Jack Keane, who's the
oh my God.
The best retired 4-star Army general. He's Fox's senior strategic analyst. He just got a brand new appointment. Senate Armed Services Committee, they've appointed him to serve on the 2026 Commission on National Defense Strategy. That's a big deal, actually. General, I'd be curious to know, how do you think things are going for our armed forces and our ally, the Israelis? And how do you think things are going for the Iranians right now?
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to use Zoom or whatever they use to track them and find them and then bomb them. That's ideally what's going to happen. These people aren't there. These people, no matter how deep underground they build their bunkers, how much concrete they use, I promise you, we as Americans have some sort of missile or bomb that will definitely crack that bunker open and take out whoever's inside. These people are not safe, and I think they're starting to realize how unsafe they really are. That's why they're hiding it. They're hiding their new supreme leaders. But remember, these leaders want to be martyred. They want to die for their cause. But the issue is that they're being taken out so quick that they can't even announce before they're dead the next day. So it doesn't matter. If that's really what you believe, then why are you trying to hide the new supreme leader? You said that you found the new supreme leader, but you haven't announced who he is. We've got an idea who he probably is, but you haven't announced it, yet you believe that your leader wants to die to become a martyr. It's like you're losing so bad that you're getting to a point where you have nothing else to lose.
Start with us. It's quite remarkable how close to the plan that we are executing, and with stunning results, to be quite frank about it. And I'm not exaggerating at all here, as you well know. I mean, the facts really do speak for themselves. Just to remind our audience, what we have here is an operation that is what we describe as condition-based. In other words, we have goals and objectives we're going to achieve. They're not sensitive to time.
You know what's crazy? Trump called that withdrawal from the Taliban a conditions-based withdrawal. I sense a theme going on, boys. Do you?
They're sensitive to the achievement of those goals. And as the president has said time and time again, if we achieve our goals earlier than planned, fine. If it takes longer, that's also fine. We're not going to stop until we achieve our goals. And quite frankly, those goals come in 2 large tranches. Number one is we want to take away all of their weapons to conduct offensive operations. In other words, to project power, and also to use that power on their own population. And we're doing a stunning job in achieving that, taking down ballistic missiles, drones, what's left of their nuclear enterprise, their entire maritime capability in dealing with their Navy. And the focus also is on all the manufacturing centers, whether it's private sector, public sector, it doesn't make any difference. If you're making a weapon inside of Iran that can be used on their own people or certainly project power outside the country, we're going after it. And that's going to take some time. This is a very systematic, deliberate approach. And the results have been, because you can measure some of this objectively, are really quite stunning, as I said. 90% reduction in launches of ballistic missiles for sure, drones pretty close to that in the high 80s. And then the effectiveness is also dramatically down. It's something less than 10% actually are able to penetrate. And despite the fact we've had another death of an American soldier, and we certainly honor that
So
service.
that's seven dead?
And our heart goes out to their families and to their friends, to be sure. And we've lost 7 wonderful Americans here. But the casualties, by anybody's description, are very, very light, to be sure, even on the Israeli civilian side. And that is because of the defensive measures that are in place, but also primarily because this plan was so comprehensive at the start, Mark, to attack all of those systems I just mentioned, the missiles, the drones, the maritime services, the nuclear sites, and particularly the missiles and the drones, to take away their ability to retaliate. And we knew for a fact what their plans were. Their plans were to massively retaliate. Gulf states, U.S. bases, and Israel population.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of posts on Twitter of them bombing bases in Iran. They're all empty. They're all empty bases. They evacuated all the military out of the area, and they had strategically planned for Iran to bomb the American bases that were in Iran or near it. And it was cheaper to remove them out of the area than to get air defense stuff in there. It's cheaper just to rebuild the bases. So you'll see a lot of Iran propaganda showing the bases in the United States military bases in Iran being bombed, and you'll see them on fire and stuff. They're all empty. They're all empty bases. There's nobody there. They removed all the equipment out, and it was just a bunch of concrete and metal. There was nothing there. So, of course, whenever you launch a missile at those bases, they're going to hit, because it was cheaper to pull the United States military out of them than to buy air defense or missile pods to protect those bases. That's what they had determined, and that's what they went with. So,
and they wanted casualties and casualties to put pressure to end this operation that we're conducting. They didn't get any of that, to be quite frank about it. And so that's
even
one.
the other cities that they shot missiles at, most of their missiles got shot down or didn't even hit. Or they hit and they did so little damage that it just didn't matter. Very few people in other... Now, some countries, it's different. In some places where they don't have air defenses and they got lucky, they've gotten hit, bombarded a few times. And it's very sad to hear that. But for the most part, all the countries that they really wanted to bring down completely failed. Like, Israel is mostly unaffected by this because of their Iron Dome, and America has suffered very minimal losses for this, as tragic as they are. And compared to the losses that the Iranian regime has faced, it's not even like hell. It's a joke. It's laughable even.
The second thing that's happening, and it's a major thrust here, and in a sense it's more of a center of gravity right now, and this is what the Israelis are leading. The Israelis are hitting all of those other targets I mentioned with the U.S. But what the Israelis are doing exclusively is attacking the organization. All the organizations that sustain this regime, Mark, they are systematically and deliberately...
And I kind of wonder if a lot of the propaganda that we've been seeing online, like they've gone as far as making AI videos to fool their own people and some people out there in the world who are gullible enough to believe the AI videos are real, that they're somehow magically blowing up the Abraham Lincoln like 4 times. I kind of wonder if there's not a lot more propaganda that comes out of there of like, like the, for example, the hate bots. I'm going to call them hate bots. I kind of wonder how many servers are set up in Iran that are specifically made to make American hating propaganda and sent to people in comments sent to people in Reddit feeds, Twitter. How many of those people that say negative things about America and spread misinformation are actually real? It makes you wonder. It does. It makes you wonder.
Down here. And that is going to take some time, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks to be able to do that. Can't objectively measure it, but it is going
And it makes you wonder if it's connected to Iran in some way.
To the conditions for regime collapse.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. When we come back, General, Iran, what are they thinking now, they being whomever they are at this point?
For more now, let's bring in former Air Force intelligence officer Jake Sotiriades. Jake, welcome.
Good to see you, Mike.
So as an old Air Force guy, what do you make of the careful coordination between the United States Air Force and the Israeli Air Force in this complicated mission in Iran?
Well, Mike, I think it's nothing short of amazingly impressive. If you look at the sheer number of targets that have been taken out since the beginning of operations, the close coordination between the American and Israeli militaries, but also a real shout out to the brave men and women of the American intelligence community who are working behind the scenes to be able to pick targets, to identify critical nodes. And now you're seeing the campaign move into a phase of targeting critical infrastructure. I might say, though, we do have a little bit of a dilemma moving forward in that we are not striking, or the real goal is not to just decimate Iran's military. We are actually fighting Iran's ideological power network. And that means the network between the population elites and institutions within Iran that has been entrenched for over 40 years. And so the question is, to what extent can these strikes apply enough pressure to disrupt or fracture elements of that network so that we can get to our desired objectives?
I think they've already done that. I genuinely think that they fractured this so much that, like I said, whenever this first started happening, that they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off. They
Jake,
are.
as you
they're
know,
so
there's
fractured.
debate
It's
over
not
whether
even funny.
U.S. boots on the ground will be needed. What are the limits of air power?
Mike, this is really the critical question right now. Obviously, the air campaign thus far, the military campaign, has been very, very effective. We've struck an amazing number of targets. Iran's Navy has been pretty much taken off the map. The question now becomes, if you look at historical examples, air attacks alone, air power alone has not historically led to regime change. You can go all the way back to World War II, to the combined bomber offensive, where cities like Dresden that were firebombed did not result in either the regime.
Yeah, I've seen that chart.
Or the population.
That chart was hilarious. They tried
to.
Some Twitter dumbass got on and was like, "Oh, this chart's fake," and didn't show any counterproof. And it's like, you do realize that just saying something is fake and not presenting counterproof only shows the people that are stupid enough to believe it. Like, if anyone actually believes that, they're just dumb. It's so stupid.
That needs to be taken into account when we think about the continued phases of the campaign.
It's because they're running out of everything. They have nothing left to bomb. We control their airspace. They have nothing. Anything that they bring out into the open, and anything that is televised through communication, like a phone call, a text message, some kind of anything, is immediately found out and either are bunker busted or blown up the minute it hits the exterior of the dirt. Like, it's just done.
Air power alone.
There's nothing left.
Attacks from the air be able
and
to.
then with them being cut off, they don't have anyone sending them more stuff or resources, so they're just done. And even if, for whatever reason, they were getting resources, the likelihood the minute that it crosses the border and it gets to its destination and getting blown up is so high, no one's willing to risk it. No one's willing to do it.
Up that network that I talked about, exert enough pressure on the regime without having to use ground forces. And of course, we're seeing that the ground force option is not being taken off the table. It's not being discussed very, very much, but it's certainly something that's going to be in the calculus over the next weeks, because in my opinion, we are very much in the beginning phases of this campaign, and I think it's going to last a long time longer.
Democrats have their criticisms.
How? Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. That kind of explains.
I want to play a clip from Senator.
I hate to break it to you, bro, but like most of these sites are just done.
Chris Murphy, and I will get you to react to it.
This is already a war that is becoming an ongoing disaster. It gets worse if the president is talking about putting ground forces in. You're talking. At
I've never heard him once say he wanted to put ground forces there. Is this because the Kurds want to invade? I don't understand. Is that what this is about? I genuinely don't like. Did he make a new announcement that I'm not aware? I mean, there's no way, because if he had made an announcement that he wanted to put boots on the ground, Fox would have played that.
About dozens, if not hundreds, of new American casualties. If you don't actually succeed in putting a new leader inside that country, they'll just be able to rebuild that capacity as soon as American forces are gone. So this is $1 billion waste of money every single day.
You know what is $1 billion waste of money? Sending a terrorist regime $1 billion. That's a big waste of money. You guys don't ever want to talk about that, do you?
In your view, is there any reason for that level of pessimism?
Think about how much money we've had to spend over the last 47 years from all of the proxy terrorist regimes that have blown something up or like killed American soldiers because of Iran funding them. Think about that. Or the Iran regime, the prior Iran regime funding them. Think about how much money we've had to pay out to the families of either soldiers or somebody that got attacked by these people. How many billions of dollars, probably even trillions at this point, for 47 years.
Look, Mike, I think we need to be very circumspect here. We are this is the tip of the iceberg in terms of military operations. We have many, many more phases of the campaign that are going to unfold. We haven't yet seen the extent to which the real pressure that is being exerted on the Iranian regime right now is going to take effect. There could be, over the next weeks, a true desire to come to the table and see if there can be some sort of a solution reached.
I feel like what's going to happen is that the likelihood of them appointing somebody that isn't going to push their religious beliefs as heavily as the prior Ayatollah is very slim. My opinion, I think that we're probably going to bomb this entire regime into the dirt, and there's not going to be anyone left to come to the table. I think that's genuinely what is going to happen here. I mean, we've taken out most of their abilities to launch missiles at the areas around them. You have people coming forward and immediately being attacked for apologizing for like dropping the bombs on other people. I mean, they have on their third supreme leader. I mean, they're not even trying to get together anymore. They're using Zoom to talk to each other. I think that this isn't, even if it goes the way it's going, I'd imagine that it's only going to take maybe a couple more weeks of this before there's just nobody left. There's just nobody left to come to the table. I do.
It's going to be very difficult, though, because
they are tactically taking these people out before they even have a chance to launch the missiles.
If you're not able to break up that ideological power network, if you aren't able to exert enough pressure on the regime exclusively through air attacks, it is going to demand another solution. President Trump, as we've heard,
the Kurds want to invade. The Kurds want to take their country back. They've wanted to do it for years. We don't have to send Americans in there. The Kurds want to go. They want to get their country back. Most of the Kurds are from Iran. They're people who have been pushed out, exiled, threatened, and most of their families are dead because of the prior regime. They want a piece of the IRGC. They've wanted it for years. They just never had the ability to until now.
The option of using Kurdish resistance fighters off the table. The question is now, can the United States activate the resistance within Iran?
Yeah, I never heard Trump say that he wanted them off the table. I heard that Trump would be for it. That's what I've heard.
Anti-regime resistance through intelligence support, through
So
perhaps.
I don't know where this guy is getting his information from.
That It's not something that happens overnight. It's going to take time. And so I think right now we need to watch and see how effective the maximum pressure campaign that is being exerted right now will be. But I think the ground troops discussion is not done. It's one that we are going to have, and it's one that's going to be relevant moving forward in the next weeks and months.
Jake, what do you make of the use of relatively inexpensive drones in this conflict? And is the future of warfare here now?
Well, look, we definitely are seeing an unprecedented level of drones play a key role in this conflict on both sides, right? This is what the United States has been using. They were used in last Saturday's attack that took out the supreme leader. It is a new modicum of warfare, and we're seeing, of course, the Iranians do considerable damage to both civilian and military infrastructure throughout the Middle East region and even beyond, where you had Iranian drones land at the British base in Akrotiri on Cyprus. And so, yes, we are living through a transformational period of warfare. The question will be, do these systems in and of themselves, are they able to generate the kind of strategic effects to actually transform the situation on the battlefield? Right now, at a tactical level, we're seeing them very, very effective. But if you look at Russia and Ukraine, of course, they've been trading thousands and thousands of drone attacks on both sides. That's very much a war of attrition. We need to keep our eyes on what's happening in Iran to see if this will also become a war of attrition over the next weeks and months.
Former Air Force intelligence officer Jake Sotiriadis. Jake, thank you very much for your analysis today.
I mean, remember, he's former. He's probably not still in the position for a reason, guys. Remember.
Of the Middle East Forum and former U.S. Navy Special Forces member Jim Hansen. Jim, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, the details here are shocking. We're talking about NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch confirming that these devices were in fact real IEDs that could cause death or serious injury, and reports of bomb-making material found in a car nearby. And now these two suspects are being investigated for potential ties to ISIS. Would you describe this, what you just saw on our screen right there with that potential IED being thrown, as a terror attack?
You see, like, if they have ties to ISIS, you have to remember, whenever this started, and people were, and the government was saying, our government was saying that they had ties to terrorist regimes because they were taking the money from the Iranian people and giving it to them to fund them and their terror. And this guy has links to ISIS. Are these guys, because two of them got arrested. You do realize that more and more of that becomes true.
It's 100% a terror attack. It was attacking someone based on their ideology with an attempt to kill them, and obviously to intimidate other people into not using their First Amendment right to protest. Now, Jake Shields is not a good person, but what I found reprehensible was when Mayor Mamdani decided to talk about this, he started off by smearing the victims in this terror attack before he even got to the idea that maybe it's a bad idea to conduct a terror attack in the United States. That happened with other Democratic leaders as well. I think.
Yeah, you know why? Because when you have the President of the United States saying America first, big surprise whenever you bring it up at the State of the Union address of, if you are an American, if you are here to represent America and help the Americans and the people that are in America, that, well, not just in America, but are Americans, and you are a patriot, stand up and clap. And everyone who was stood up and clapped, and you saw a lot of Democrats that were just sitting down. It was a major misplay on the Democrats because they revealed their hand. It was.
I think you need to look at yourself and look at what's going on. I don't agree with the protesters there, but I think they have a right to say what they're saying without fear of being blown up.
Yeah, well, let me read exactly what you're referring to with Mayor Mamdani's initial post on this on X, saying white supremacist Jake Lang organized a protest outside Gracie Mansion rooted in bigotry and racism. Such hate has no place in New York City. It is an affront to our city's values and the unity that defines who we are. What followed was even more disturbing. Violence at a protest is never acceptable. The attempt to use an explosive device and hurt others is not only criminal, it is reprehensible and the antithesis of who we are. So he referred to the other side of this, and the bomb throwing is what happened afterwards. And we now know the details of what he means by that. There's a piece in the New York Post, Jim, that says Mamdani must do a lot more than condemn violence after ISIS bombs fly in New York City. If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't condemn this violence in more significant terms, what happens next?
Well, he literally incited more violence in his statement.
These people are so fucking dumb. They couldn't. Okay, I don't want this to come across as a type of way. They fucked up on making the bombs, first off. And then they attacked a group of protesters protesting the Iran war. What? Like, you know it came from them, because, like, if you just check where their missiles landed and you see this bomb attack, I mean, come on, guys, they're one for one. Like, let's be honest here. Come on.
And you look at the group that's protesting against him. They call it.
Last time I checked, if you wanted people to if you wanted people to help you, the last thing you want to do is blow up the people that will be somewhat willing to help you. But they've seemed to do that twice now. Like,
get the Nazis out of New York. You know, there has been violent incitement and rhetoric by so many Democrat leaders, we can't even keep track of it.
Yeah,
and now
they're
people
right.
have been dying all across America because of what they have stirred up. They have riled up the crazies, and now whether it's trans...
Man, it is nice to see an American flag not be turned upside down.
Assassins,
it's a great
or whether
thing.
It's, you know, ISIS-inspired terrorists in New York City, we've got a problem. And I think the people on the left need to understand, when the Hamas mobs were running rampant, nobody was blowing them up from the political right. They need to tamp down their rhetoric and see that they're responsible.
They're not going to do that, though. They're going to be more and more, I guess, crazy the more they're being shoved out of power. It's going to be just like Iran. It's going to get ramped up until they're all gone. That's the issue, is that they don't fall far from the tree. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the same shit when they start, if they start losing power in our own government. It's going to be this. It's just like what Tim Walz did. Instead of acknowledging that the ICE agents were federal police, he actively said that they weren't and that they couldn't do what they were doing. It's going to be just like that. It's because they're radicals. They're not trying to do. They tried to do what they could in a fraudulent manner, or in a way that is, I guess, cheating. And now that they're getting found out and they're getting removed, they are showing their radicalism by doing what, like, for example, what Tim Walz did. And I feel like that's going to be the norm with these people, unfortunately.
I also want to ask you, Jim, about the latest on the war in Iran. And there are reports that one option on the table for President Trump is sending special forces into Iran.
But I do kind of wonder if Trump doing this, and if he actually succeeds in doing this and he cuts off the funding to all these terrorist organizations, I do wonder if this will all stop. I do wonder that.
Its nuclear stockpile, which would mean boots on the ground. What do you think about this? And the fact that that nuclear material is still in Iran, in Iranian territory?
Yeah, it's difficult to consider the fact that they could have access to material they could use to make a dirty bomb or something else. The logistics involved in an actual raid to go into Iran, and most of the material is expected to be in the interior of the country, it would be a long multi-helicopter hop or other difficult logistically raid to plan and execute, so a lot of things could go wrong. I think another bombing raid, you know, with the major bunker busters might be more likely if they want to take out that. A place where a raid might happen could be Karg Island, the oil terminal that Iran uses to get 60% or 40+% of their revenue from. Taking that and keeping that in, you know, hold until the regime falls might be a way to shut them down.
Yeah, and as War Secretary Pete Hegseth says, we're willing to go as far as we need in order to be successful, but of course they're not going to forecast any of those decisions in advance, especially in front of the media. Jim, thank you for joining us.
For obvious reasons too, obviously. Damn, we actually managed to get through everything. Let me check through Fox one more time and see if there's anything new. I think that unfortunately now that everything's dying down, it's not the first of the year anymore and we just hit time zone change. I think a lot of the streams are going to start dying down now that there's not really anything too crazy going on. So there's a good chance that a lot of the craziness that's been going on in the chat is probably going to start dying down hardcore. Thank God. Oh my God, thank God. Honestly, for the better, because there were a lot of schizos that were just fucking stupid, man. Holy God, the people that would get into my comments were just so brain dead. So for those of you still sticking around, thanks for being here. Thanks for being awesome. Funny enough, it kind of started kicking off towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, but there was a lot of shit going on. There was a huge amount of shit going on. So it didn't surprise me. But now that it's gonna probably start dying down until we get some like new news about Iran, it's kind of just starting to be like the same old thing, you know? If that makes any sense. As unfortunate as it is to say that, it's the truth. It kind of kicked off, had about the same amount of viewership whenever it came to Charlie Kirk, whenever I talked about him. Same thing with Renee Good and Alex Peretti. So, like, it's going to be a low probably for a couple months, who knows, or a week. Depends on how crazy things get, but yeah. I got a lot of crazy people. I genuinely feel like a lot of those people had to have been, like, some form of propaganda pushers. Like, honestly. They had to have been some form of propaganda pushers. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. And now with the regime falling, I've been noticing less and less. Even on like my videos on other platforms as well, it's kind of died down a lot. Like TikTok used to be really fucking bad, but now it's like everywhere. Even like it's good and bad. It's good that we're taking care of this regime, but it's bad because I've noticed that a lot of like on TikTok, it's not a bloodbath. People say whatever they want in TikTok, and I've gotten pictures. I've even showed it in the Discord. I've gotten pictures of people posting Charlie Kirk and then showing like a picture with a lady and a red bullseye being over their head and being like, this is him next. Like, I've gotten death threats on TikTok. And the crazy part is now that the regime is falling in Iran, I've noticed that my numbers have plummeted everywhere. So it kind of makes me wonder how many of these motherfuckers were propaganda pushers. It does. That's why I brought it up earlier in the stream. I do wonder how many of these people are getting paid to go to people that are talking about this and push propaganda. I do. I wonder. It doesn't look like Fox has anything new, so we might just be watching a Midwest safety video and then blowing this joint, boys. Chase shooter through congested street. But please stick around. I guarantee you we'll have more spikes of viewership when something crazy goes on. It'll give you guys something else to yell about in chat. It'll be fun.
I gotta go. Got a stabbing now.
I want to watch this one. Suspect. Axe-wielding suspect. Oh, man on bike path. Let's do the axe-wielding one. This guy looks crazy anyway.
I gotta go.
If there was ever a time to look at somebody and say they're crazy, I think it's this time. I'm gonna use the bathroom before we start watching this, though. That's loud. Okay, I'll be right back. BRB. Okay. All right, let's get her. So this is another one. This is another 2%er, boys. Got to lock up 2% of the population. This guy would be one of them. Think about how much money we'd save on the workforce if we had these people turning big rocks into little rocks all day. We need to make it to where like these people got to be more scared to end up in jail than to do whatever they're doing.
Got a stabbing now.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Probably stabbed in an arm. They're going to be hiking bike just east of North Freedom Street. And my PR did not see anybody else in the area. Apparently, possibly stabbed in the butt and the arm.
Somebody go. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
The victim's going to be almost to Freedom Street at this point. There's going to be a bicyclist trying to flag you down.
He's down there?
He just fell down.
Okay.
He was walking this way, doing okay. All right, I'm going to let you go. He was calling for help coming this way from the...
Did you see anybody else?
Nobody else. By the time I
I'm
was
gonna skip this.
Keep down there glass.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna skip a little. I'm gonna skip. So he's got a big axe, double-sided with a hook knife.
Got a big axe, double-sided, with a hook knife. Down there.
If you got an extra set of gloves, I'll help.
No. We can't see that. Can't see that.
Does have stab wound to the arm.
Okay, there we go.
I believe I see a male coming down the bike trail now. Might be him coming down now.
I don't typically have to skip these, but I know that they have like a 0 tolerance for blood, and I don't even want to tempt that. I haven't been hit with it yet. I want to keep it that way. I don't want to tempt fate here.
Is the female supposed to be the suspect?
If I'm gonna get banned, it's gonna be for something else, and it's not gonna be this.
Guys walking up here. Why'd he stab you?
I don't even know the man. I don't even know him.
All right.
Do you really think these schizos that run around? The dude has a freaking hook knife and a battle axe. You think this guy needs a reason? Come on.
Hang on, I don't know where the suspect is. You might be able to walk up to the guys right here, but we have someone walking.
We should just have like an automated turret system around every property in America that is like designed to read people and they're like what they're gonna do, and they should just automatically just do them in. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a hook knife and your shirt's off and you got tattoos all over your body and you got a battle axe in a park, man, if nature ain't gonna do it, we're gonna have to come up with our own artificial naturally selecting system. That's what we need in America.
He's got a sword?
Sir,
you got a thing wrapped in a black bag and you try to light it on fire near a crowd, instantly naturally selected by our wonderful natural selection system. Sold now for a total of $99.99. You can get the automatic natural selection device. I'm going to patent that. I'm going to sell that, and I'm going to be rich. And then I'm going to stream about how I made my money on a fucking automated natural selection system.
Ground! Get on the ground! He's approaching. Looks like he has a knife. Oh, shit. A sword of some kind. Oh, shit.
He's got a
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. If you're walking around with a battle axe in a park, it's safe to assume that you're not thinking clearly.
Get on the ground!
Foreign's got an axe.
Stop!
Put the axe down now. Put it down.
Police department!
Bro, he looks crazy.
Get on the ground!
Stop walking.
Stop walking.
Get on the ground now!
Put it down. Drop the axe now.
Bro, literally bringing a knife to. Oh, damn.
Drop
it. No, like you see, if you get a tattoo like this, you should just be sent to jail. That's crazy.
Get on the ground! Come on, get on the ground!
You know this person doesn't know how to make good choices in life whenever he's getting himself tattooed with that.
Put it down!
Estimated feet from officers, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34. Hold on, let me help y'all. Hold on. 33. This is how far away he is from the officers.
Stay down.
All right, shots fired.
You Dumbass motherfucker. What did you think was gonna happen? What did you think was gonna happen, bro? You know what's sad? Somewhere on Reddit, I could see the thread already. They shot this poor man multiple times. I can see the bloodbath in the comments from people getting banned for having their counter argument towards this. And you just see one of the comments that's so vague, they can't ban it because they don't know. And it just reads, dumbass motherfucker.
Stop. Tackle. Foreign shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh, man.
Roll over. Hey, back off. Roll over.
Ah, damn. Is he even still moving, man? Oh, dude. Ah, shit. There's a little cheat code for you guys. If you're ever dealing with somebody that has a gun and you have an axe, no matter how badass you think you are, that gun's more badass.
All right, we're gonna need a 10 down here.
Damn, he's alive. Bro, he had to have been on some kind of drug. There's no way. No way, dude.
I'll hold lethal. You guys get up. Let's get him away from the weapons.
32 to 6, K9 units are at training. You want us to respond?
That's firm.
Where's the other knife at?
Knife right here.
He's got the other one in his hand.
No, we got 2 knives.
All right, drag out that way.
Drag him or this?
Do you think he's safe? Or...
Yeah.
We're gonna Hey, fire department! We need rescue!
Send FD down here. Send him down here.
Off camera, the stabbing victim is quickly transported into an ambulance, and officers now need to ensure aid is rendered to the medically unstable suspect.
There's one weapon.
I forget what his name is. He lives in the woods back there. We just
dealt with him.
Where's the other weapon at?
Let me ask you something. Do you think this man is better off in prison where he should be, in my opinion, he should be? Or do you think this man is better off in public, probably homeless, probably some kind of drug person, can't get hired because he's got like Nazi tattoos all over his fucking neck, and walking around a park with a battle axe and a hook knife stabbing? Do you think this person is better off in jail or out in public? I mean, I know for sure the public would definitely be better off if this man was locked away, but for his own sanity, for this man's sake, who probably can't get a job, do you think that it's good for him to be out in the general population? I mean, let's be honest here. If you have tattoos like that on your body, I know you can't make good decisions. What makes you think this man is going to do any good for the public for him being out of jail or out of an institution? I'm sure that guy that got stabbed in the arm back on the trail would probably beg to differ, right? Surely.
Yeah. I moved the knife over there. Axe is over here.
What's your exact 39?
We're on the bike trail east of Freedom. We've secured the weapons.
Let me pat him down real quick.
Yes.
This one sheath. That's for his knife.
Where else was he?
He's hit.
Head? Here's the tourniquet. I don't know. You guys saw where he was hit?
He's got multiple shots through the back, chest, arm, shoulder.
Damn!
Yeah.
Start throwing gauze in it. Start plugging holes.
Where's some gauze at?
You want to roll him over?
Yeah, if you could.
He's going to be 16, for sure.
Keep the Lucas on him.
The Lund University Cardiopulmonary Assist System, or Lucas device.
Yo! We actually had to use those in whenever I got hired at my department. That's a new thing they're making people use now. So like, and then you have like this it looks crazy, but instead of doing hand CPR at my department, they gave us this device that looks similar to this, right? Except it has like a suction on it. It has like a suction cup here. And you turn it on and it has like a rhythm. It goes dee 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 dee. And you're supposed to go down and up on the chest, right? It's a handheld device. It was blue. And you held it like this and you like lean over and you just do this. And it like sucks their chest up with the suction because it's got a cup on the bottom of it. and you push up and down on their chest, and it's that way you don't break any of their ribs and stuff. And then it actually has like a counter on it. It has a timer on it, and it pulls and pushes at the same time. I'm not gonna lie, that machine was so much easier to use than trying to do hand over hand compressions. It was so much easier to fucking use, and I didn't have to worry about how hard I was doing it either. I didn't have to worry about breaking ribs or like, you know, they call it cracking the chest. I didn't have to worry about that as much. And it was easier to switch off too. So like usually you do compressions for like a set amount of time, and then you switch off with the person next to you to maintain good compression rate. And what's nice is because of how easy that device is, you can just go in, up, in, up, and then once you hit your limit, you automatically switch. The guy just picks it up and keeps doing the same thing. It's that easy. But then the paramedics got there, and they have this device that it's kind of like a bed, but it's not really. And I've seen them use it like twice. And they put you under it, and it's like this big cylindrical thing, and it does compressions automatically.
Delivers automated chest compressions during CPR.
Like
Studies
that.
show it provides
They
more...
tie your hand up, and then it does the compressions automatically.
consistent, high-quality compressions than manual CPR, improving patient outcomes and allowing caregivers to focus on other critical tasks.
Yeah, one in the arm.
One in the shoulder back here is going to come out. This was. He's got one in here.
Do you want the FG to stage it? The Elks?
Yeah, I got it. Native, we already have them down here, seen secure.
You want to wait up there for us, sir?
I just didn't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, no, well,
No, just wait up there for
yeah,
us.
if you don't mind waiting by the car real quick, we have more cars coming. We'll be up there with you in a minute. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. Are we good?
Yeah, no one.
No.
Just imagine if that man had come across some kids playing in that park, or like a family. Just imagine how bad that would have been. I think that it was a lucky day that it didn't turn out way worse than what it was. I do.
I need someone to stand with this and where the other stuff. Stay right here. I'll be right back.
Did you get any rounds off?
Yeah.
Yep. Twig?
What?
Did you get rounds off?
No, I didn't.
Okay. It's going to be you and him. Because all I heard was him yell, I got a shot.
I had trigger pulled. I was about to go.
I was getting it, and I heard him say taking the shot. So then you're right next to
shot.
me. Good. So you got to see you two are good. Listen to me. You're going to go. You need to go to the hospital.
Okay.
This guy here was on the trail. We're going to have to talk to him. And then there was some other guy, I don't know, everyone had a yellow shirt on.
Just not doing out. Suffered trauma right now. Come here. Stay here, though. Just you suffered trauma. It's a traumatic event. You need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
This is bad for all of us, but you've had to pull the trigger, so nothing is said, nothing's done. I'm going to have James start out this way now. We'll take care of that.
That must be a standard operating procedure for that department, where if you are forced to shoot somebody, they immediately send you to get, like, I don't know, like tested, or like send you to like get looked over to see if you actually suffered any trauma from it.
You guys are not to say anything.
We've dealt with him a couple times. He lives in a tent back there, just left of the bridge.
What did I say? I said the dude was probably homeless, didn't I? I said that. I was like, this guy's probably homeless.
Who he was going to be when we got called down here and they said he was under the bridge.
We're going to have to call next shift. All of us were involved.
They will at some point seize your weapon. I'm going to make sure they can give you another one. But everything was good. There's just nothing we can do. And, I mean, he was too close.
He already stabbed somebody and he was coming at us.
That's enough stuff. That's enough. Yes, he was coming with an axe in the right hand. He had a knife in the right hand, axe in the left. He kept stretching him back. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good, Heather?
As good as you can be.
That's the suspect? That's the suspect. Yeah.
That's right. He thought he was Kratos there.
We're running first aid.
First aid. He's been shot.
All right, let's
get the scene secure.
Okay. It's awesome.
Again, I don't know how you could advocate for somebody like this to not just end up in jail. I never will understand that mentality. I mean, the dude ain't got a job. He's homeless. He's got his neck all tatted up. He can't get a job probably for that reason. He's walking around. You could take the time to get a battle axe, but you can't get a job, or like, dude, it just
these two.
Just stay holstered. Come on over here with me.
Someone will probably have to move one of the cruisers for them to get the ambulance down here.
Just relax.
I'll be a minute.
We need to get BCI out here.
Yes. All right.
Mobile?
No, by the time he made it down to here.
Oh, we got Agonal Rhythm, EEA. Where's the axe?
Right there.
There's so much blood.
We were all down here and he came running up here at us. Yeah.
Oh, I watched the whole time.
Yeah.
James, that's Matt Myers. Call me immediately. OIS. Hey, Bethany, this is Officer Myers, Ravenna Police Department. I'm a senior patrol rep. I have a critical incident involving non-officer involved shooting. We have 2 officers that fired rounds.
You all right?
Thought it was 3.
He was living in a tent back here with his girlfriend, and we had warrants on his girlfriend.
What are we doing? Are we working this guy, or are we gonna...
Multiple. Shoulder, 2 in the chest, both femurs, both arms. Is it closed off down there? Or I don't think so. We're just going to send everybody back.
Not a good day.
100 copies.
Oh, that's okay? Yes.
That's our thing, too. We'll make sure you guys are all right. By all measures, too.
Now we're going. Everybody's out. We're all going to hold no holes. And
Where's your body cam? Still running? Leave it go. It doesn't go to anybody but me or the chief.
You want it running while I'm at the hospital?
until we get there, and when we get there, yes, it's going to just leave it on. Let's get out of there. He's involved in this. I want to get him to a hospital.
I wonder why that is.
Obviously, we're not going to transport, so the rest is up to how you guys want to handle this.
You definitely want to talk to the chief or the captain on that one.
Do you guys have somebody down there closing off that end of the bike and hike trail?
I don't think so. I haven't seen anybody come down this way yet, though. Do you guys have caution tape?
I got body cam for you. Do not give it to anybody other than me, Jake.
If everybody in blue is good.
Okay.
Can you see to it that they send Twig out? Twig and I didn't get the fire, but he was right there, so. It's going to be closed.
I don't even know who that guy is.
He said he lives in the tents, too, back there. They're, like, just outside of the city.
So that was another guy that was homeless that was back there that got stabbed. Okay. So the guy that got fish hooked in the arm up the trail that got the call originally, he was also homeless.
Past the 14 bridge on the left. So we've been back there before, so we arrested his girlfriend out of there with warrants, like, I don't know, a month ago. They said there was some other dude that lived back there. It must have been the guy that got stabbed. Yeah, I'm assuming he stabbed him with that.
Do you guys know any of the demographics on him? Or
We do. We've had reports. I just don't know right now. So there's shell casings somewhere over in here. I just saw right here.
Okay, don't talk to her. I don't mean to dick, just don't say anything to her. Not even with him. Craig, hey, Cruz, just stay away from both of these guys. Go over here. Stand behind it.
Damn, what's that about? That's crazy.
Whatever you feel right. I just want these guys to have what they need. I just want them to be covered by FOP.
They're running.
All right, thanks.
So the other guys can move them.
Josh.
I don't know where we are with these.
You can't be right here.
Okay, where do you want me?
Just over here and see what they need here. You go down here and wait for Dustin to tell you what you need.
Yeah, I'll pull that cam off once we get to the parking lot. Yep.
All matters.
Any demographics? I guess you guys knew the guy.
I got nothing.
No,
Twig, come over here. Here's the thing. They're going. Right now you were involved, even though we didn't pull it. We're going to wait until the FOP gets here. We're not saying anything. We're not doing walkthroughs. We're not going to do statements. That'll come later.
Did you know that there is homeless that live just beyond that bridge to the left?
Yeah.
There were.
A whole camp.
Do that at a minimum.
We're a little busy right now, ma'am.
Oh, I know, but,
Yeah.
Leave it to a Karen. Am I right? Leave it to a Karen.
I'm going to go look up the report.
Don't. Just not right now. You're done with everything as far as this case is. You're done right now. You just zip it until FOP gets here. You're not even doing a report tonight. We're not doing it. Yeah. I know we didn't pull the trigger. We were right there and it went. It's still a hell of an event.
Cigarette? I got cigarettes. I was being serious.
You just going to the ER?
Yeah. We're just going to wait for Dustin down there.
Okay. I'm going to be transferred to UH.
Damn, that's crazy. Let me guess, he's got a rap sheet too, huh? I see that he's got an after-action report. Let's see if he's got a rap sheet. Bet he does.
Suspect, 43-year-old Matthew James Freeze,
Bet he has a
allegedly
fucking
sustained bullet
a
wounds
thing.
in both legs, both arms, torso, and head before succumbing to his injuries. An autopsy confirmed he was high on methamphetamines. His criminal history stretched
Bro,
back to
I'm just too goddamn good. Called that the dude was homeless, said he must have been on some kind of drug, knew that he didn't have a damn job, probably got a criminal history of some sort.
1999, including convictions for 2 counts of first-degree assault, 2 counts of first-degree domestic violence, 3 counts of disorderly conduct, 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon, 1 count of aggravated menacing, 1 felony count of possessing methamphetamines, 1 count of vandalism, 1 count of trespassing in a habitation, and 1 count of resisting arrest. The shooting was unprecedented in Ravenna. Captain Jake Smallfield said it was the first time an officer had shot someone in his 25 years on the force. Thankfully, the stabbing victim was taken to the...
That explains the reason why that cop, that lead was being so different. I've never seen any cop act like that before, like leading supervisor act like that whenever it came to like a shooting. I was either like, this got to be for some kind of insurance purpose or something like that. But it makes sense now.
Center of Hope, where he received food, clothing, toiletries, bandages, and help connecting with a social worker about housing. While the 2 firing officers' identities have not been publicly disclosed, Ohio's Bureau of Criminal Investigation determined they would not pursue any criminal charges in the officer-involved shooting. They clarified that the officers responded appropriately to an imminent threat to their lives. The case has since been closed.
Well, there it is. Damn, shouldn't have done it, huh? Shouldn't have done it. All right. Let me check out, actually, you know what? No, it's time. It's time. All right. I will see you boys tomorrow bright and early. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being you. Same time, same place tomorrow. We did have a time change, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's fucking with everything as well. I don't know why we still do the time change. It's fucking useless. It's beyond me. I have no idea. But I will be back on first thing tomorrow, bright and early, same time, same place. Thanks for being you. Thanks for watching, sticking around. Thanks for the members that have became members. Thanks for the Twitter side, Twitch side for the new Amazon membership. Awesome. Look forward to seeing you on many of the streams. Stay safe out there. Don't go around crazy people. You might end up like a lot of these people getting laughed at. Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day or their whole life. You never know. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit.
Let's see this one. Peace.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit.